Dude, I am so excited for tonight. How about you, man?
Yeah, man. Excited to learn about some of these new games and what all the creators have to say.
Yeah, this is it's going to be exciting. I don't know if everybody knows what we're doing here today. So I want to just set the stage a little bit. So for tonight, guys, we are doing Ted's first ever TCG Expo. For tonight, we have 7 games. We had a couple games had to reschedule. But I've also got here my co-host McGreg's, which I am just ecstatic to have on with me because this is just a cool dude. I met him in Orlando on the side of the road,
On a
and
street
we
corner.
yeah on a street corner, and we just kind of like jived, you know. And so thank you, McGreg's, for being on today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
So what I want to do is I want to quickly show everybody, and this is going to be sort of interesting because depending on when you come in the stream, you may or may not know who's coming next. If you want to go into the video description, I've actually got these listed in order, but these are going to be our games for the night. And then here's the orders that we are attempting to go in. Now we have, it's a situation where this is the first time, this is our first time trying this, and it's a new format. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a little, it's like an experiment and an expo all at the same time. I'm starting to see some viewers pile in. What's up, Zach Mystery? House is in here. MMVV, Phoenix Rising. We've got Hawaiian Dueler. Mr. Fish, what is going on? Your co-host reminds me of a young Tom Welling from Smallville. I, I guess that's a compliment.
I'll take it as one.
I don't know.
I don't have the reference point, but
yeah, I'm trying. I'm honestly actually trying to remember. I feel like I don't have a good grasp actually on who that is. I thought I did, but then I actually confused it with I can't even remember his name, but it's a totally different show. We got Dylan. We got Too Fluent. What is going on, everybody? So I know people are just joining in. We're going to introduce our games real fast before we actually kick off with our first game. We want to let people join. I'm going to then show our list of games tonight, guys. Here's the order. We're going to hit all of these. Let's hit the format a little bit. About 20 minutes each. We're going to go in order. If a game is not ready, if they're not in my waiting room, we'll skip them. We'll add them to the end. But rest assured, they're all in the waiting room right now. We've talked. We've done, equipment setup and everything ahead of time. So we shouldn't have an issue there. But guys, it's alive. We just don't know. So we got KFC. I think we're ready to introduce our games. I don't know if the introduction is going to work in order, so I'm just going to kind of go down the list of what I see here. First, we have Jacob with Omni. What's going on, man?
Hello, how you guys doing?
We're doing well. Thank you for joining our expo tonight.
Thank you.
Awesome. We're going to stick Jacob back in. He's going to be our first game, actually. We're sticking back in. So we introduce everybody, and then we're going to bring them out. And we'll start our 20 minutes.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's see. We've got Voyagers. What's going on, Voyagers?
How you guys doing tonight?
Hi.
Ooh, I'm doing well. Welcome to the expo. Yes. We've got you guys down at spot number 2. We'll see you then.
Great.
Yes. All right. Then we've got Legions. What's going on, Legions?
Hey, how's it going?
It's actually Legions of Will, right? Do people say Legions for short?
Yeah, Legions are low, but Legions are low, yeah.
Awesome. We've got you at slot number 4. We'll see you then. Okay. And then we have Gem Blenders. What's up, Steve?
Hi there, Ted. How you doing?
Man, thanks for giving us the time on the show. Excited to hear about it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're on slot number 7. We'll see you then.
Great.
Okay. And we have Monsters Glare. What's going on, man?
Hey.
I'm glad to see you're excited. You know what? I don't know if I actually caught your first name. What's your first name again?
So my first name is Terrence, but everybody calls me
Terrence.
T or T Mac. But
T.
yeah.
Oh, that's why you have a T dash in the. I should have caught that. Awesome. Sweet, man. So Monsters Glare is slot number 3. We'll see you when that time comes. Thank you. All right. Here we go with coloring battle cards. What are you doing, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast. We've never
Oh,
tried
yeah.
anything like this before. So,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
this is,
everybody.
yeah, this is unheard of. This is going to be great.
Just, you know, hold on to your, you know what's, and we're going to have some fun tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got you at slot number 5. We'll see you then.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, and we have we just had Monsters Glare. We're gonna put you back in the waiting room. Here we go. Hyper Junkin? Please correct me so I say it right. Are you there? Hyper Junkin? Oh, we might have our first technical issue of the night. Let's see. I'm just going to type to Hyper in the chat. Hyper, we can't hear you. Welcome, Hyper. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to get you back in the waiting room. You're going to be slot number 6, again, pending you hear me. And just give it try to work on your mic settings at the bottom of the stream. Okay, I see him in Discord telling me he can hear me. We cannot hear you. So play with your mic settings when I stick you back in the waiting room. And try to pick the correct mic so that we can hear you when we bring you on. You're going to be slot number 6. Thanks for giving us the time. We will see you at that time. All right, sweet, man. Let's see. Who else do we have? We got KFC. Wow. You were going to have the whole freaking squad on. Oh man, KFC. Whenever I hear you say that stuff, I hear your voice when you're in your character and everything, and sometimes I just have to chuckle. All right, well, I think we should kick it off unless McGreg's anything I'm forgetting, anything.
No, but before we get into it, you know, how did
Yeah.
you become aware of all these games and get in touch with the creators?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. It's kind of funny. What I did was I made like I don't know, it's like a 2-minute video or something. I'm looking at my channel to see if I can reference the size. And I just said, hey, I got this idea. I want to have everybody on, not everybody, 10 people or less, and give you guys 20 minutes each. And let's hear about the games. The thought was, how can we sample, a breadth of games that are out there, understand what are their intentions, what's their lore, what's their story, when did they start, what's the mechanics, how do you get that kind of flavor in a short period of time, and then do it like times 5 or 6 or 7
Right.
without leaving the comfort of your own home. And I just put it in a video, and then I said, if you want to join it, just DM me. That was it.
That's cool.
So they saw it. They DM me. I actually kind of set a little rule. I thought this would be sort of objective, which was, I will not veto a game. So all you got to do is, if you're the game creator, you request it, and then I'll put you on the list and you're in. Like, it's not going to be, because see, if I pick the games, then, that could be subjective. So they have to reach out to me. I'm glad you actually asked this. We didn't plan that, because anybody listening who is a game creator and you want to be on a future expo, now I'm going to plug future expos. We already have number 2. It's almost filled up. There are a few spots left. And what I'll do is, if that fills, then we're going to expo number 3. At some point, I'm assuming we'll exhaust the list. It's not an unlimited number of games that exist and are willing to come on the show, but at least that's the plan, guys. Plans can change, but that's the plan. So if you missed this one, you didn't necessarily miss out. Are we ready to jump into Omni and explore that game, or is there anything else? Any comments that you caught, or anything that maybe we should take a look at?
No, I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
Okay. And I'm going to I'll try to like preface this ahead of time for all the viewers, just like a housekeeping kind of a thing. It's going to be hard for me to, have these discussions and watch all your comments and respond to everything. So I hope you're not offended if we don't get to your question. Absolutely ask it. If it doesn't get answered, feel free to put it in the comments below when the stream's over. And I'm not actually sure if you're able to do that, during the stream, then go ahead and do it. And then that way it's recorded there, because the stream one, I get that you can watch the stream one after the fact, but it's recorded there in everybody's face, and your game creator may be able to go in there and answer your question later. So if we skip your question or we don't get to it, just go ahead and do that. What's up, Slebrix? Am I saying that right? McGreg's, would you say it that way?
Slebrick? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we got
corrected.
Yeah, we got Phoenix Rising. Before we get going, I just want to call out a few of the other names I've seen. All right, man. I think we're going to bring in Omni. Let's see here. Where is Omni? Here we go. What's up, Jacob? We've got you on the live stream.
How you guys doing?
Dude, I'm doing well. What's exciting with you going on right now?
Yeah, we are blasting out a lot of work. We've been in communication with production and getting ready for our Kickstarter in September.
That's awesome. I am curious, there's so many ways we can go with the expo, and we're about 8:30, so it's actually going to be a nice close to an even number there. I've got so many questions that I could just ask, but I want to make sure I'm respectful of, if you had already prepared a presentation, did you want to walk us through something you prepared, or do you want to just have like a discussion and we let us drive it? It's totally up to you.
Let's go with questions and answers. I like to do that. Okay.
Now I'm going to be asking these questions from the perspective of we don't know anything about your game. Some people may not know anything. So I want to go to the lowest common denominator of knowledge, which is my first thing that comes to mind. What is your intentions for your game and your game company? And I want to give you some context to that. The reason why this is important: if your game, let's say it's designed, you want it to be someday huge, right? Big IP, investable card game, or medium size, or you might say something like, hey, I'm just making this for fun, and I don't really ever mean it to be big money investing for anybody, and that's what my thought is. We're not going to know that if you don't tell us. So I'm kind of interested right off the bat. What is your intentions for your game and your long-term vision?
So yeah, my business partner and I, when we first started up Omni, working on it, our intention was to only have this available to our friends and ourselves. Okay. And as we were getting play testing done and bringing in friends and stuff, we were seeing a huge like in this. And so we began to look towards actually making this more available to everyone. And so we went and created our own game company called Seven Dwarves. We went out and started doing events at local card shops and game stores. And we were getting a lot of positive feedback. We did launch a Kickstarter back in February, and we got a lot more feedback at that moment of what everyone would like to see in our game. So we ended up canceling our game so that way we can make sure this meets our clients' wants, because we decided that we wanted this to be a game everywhere. We've actually created some prototype decks that we set up on our online store so that way people can make purchases and be able to play test our game. It uses a lot of our concept art, so none of this stuff is fully finished at this moment in time. And we got people from all over the world. We even got people from Germany who ordered cards so they can play test. And that was very exciting for us, because now our game has actually reached many corners of the world, and we haven't even gone into Kickstarter yet for an official launch.
So would you say then, like, is your intention that that you want to grow this as big as you can and have it be sort of that traditional investable, collectible, playable game, like you see in the bigger, the bigger names like the Pokemons and the Magics? Like, is that your vision, or is it something different?
Our main vision is to bring enjoyment and fun out of our game. If that ends up bringing a large following and a big investment, that's
Mhm.
net positive. But right now, our main goal is to bring this game out to everyone and let them enjoy themselves.
Okay, that totally fair. And I think that, it just sets up some context, right? Because we're all investigating your game and thinking about how to engage with it based on what your intentions are. So I think that's really important. And no judgment either way, right? Like, you want to make something fun. Cool.
Yes.
So I am interested in, like, some of the storyline, maybe some of the back history. I know we want to. You got 14 minutes. I don't want to make it like spend too much time on things you don't think are important. So if that's the case, we can skip on to stuff you think is important. And I do have some cards here for
Yes.
people. So if there's ever a point where you want me to, like, show cards while you're talking, we could do that. But yeah, so because I don't know anything about the story, so I think the story
Yes.
may be a good place to start.
Yeah, so our overview, our kind of story of the game is within Omni, a realm of constant flux, there stands massive relics of unknown origins. These monoliths, the gate crystals, are the source of all existence in Omni. From them, souls manifest and engage in battle for complete omnipotence. Enhance your souls with quirks and provide unique abilities and allow them to ascend into entities of considerable power. Change the tides of battle with events that become reality through the magic of these crystals. Be wary. When one of these great monoliths shatters and falls upon itself, the gate of creation closes with it. Wage war against the crystal wielders. Use your mighty gate crystals and their adaptable creations to claim Omni for your own. And that is our kind of introduction into our game, where we actually utilize a crystal system as your health. And I will switch over to our player mat.
Nice.
Cool.
I was going to ask about that because the omnipotence I caught is obviously that's where your Omni title comes from, correct?
That is. Very much so. So our world resides within a plane where the gods transform themselves into crystals to protect themselves from a entity that is known as the Unlit, which is is a corruption that is consuming and destroys everything. So you can actually start off with a crystal and one of your souls for this game, and you get to fight against other crystal wielders and try to ascend your souls into entities and later into your crystal guardian, which is a very powerful and very strong being. And
what is the what's the win condition there? Like, what's the
the
goal?
win condition is to destroy all of your opponent's crystals. So each player will start off with one crystal, and you can actually gain your second crystal by ascending your first soul. That will produce an excess of energy that will condense into a new crystal. At any point after that, you can actually combine your two crystals into a third crystal, which is called a cluster. And this cluster is so powerful, it allows you to just bring out a perfect soul that is without any kind of blemish that will eventually become a crystal guardian. Crystal guardians are creatures of immense power that will protect your crystal. There's only enough resources in this realm that you need to protect your crystal and take out other crystals to gain their resources.
Am I looking at a one-player mat or a two?
This is a single player.
Okay.
So
That's
you would
what I
actually
thought.
have two of these mats, 1v1 battles.
Okay.
And
It's
so you would actually have two decks in your own side. You would have your standard deck here, which would have all of your events such as stabilizers and destabilizers, as well as quirks. And these are all beautifully color-coded. These stabilizers are red, stabilizers are blue, and quirks, which are things that power up your souls, are yellow. And then you have your tokens, which are fragments of souls. You have your souls themselves. And then you will go into your perfect soul, and then you have some entities. These are what your souls will evolve into. And later on, you have your crystal guardians. These are your in-game characters.
And
like
just
I
to get a
said
better
earlier-
understanding of like the anatomy of the deck, what are like the count of each type of card you can have in your deck?
Okay, so you have 4 soul tokens, and your soul tokens will be placed in the token slots. When they get destroyed, they go back to your existence deck. Everything else in your existence deck, when it is destroyed, leaves the game entirely. And so you have 4 souls that you can choose between. There is actually even more than these 4. These are just the 4 in this specific deck that you can have in one deck. Then every deck has a perfect soul. And then you get 8 of your entities. And you can only have 1 of each card in your deck, so there's no duplicates. And then at the end, you have 2 guardians. One will always be the Crystal Keeper, which is the lowest tier guardian. And the other one would be based around what kind of deck you're building. So this deck here is an unlit deck. And so it actually has a very specific symbol up in the top corner.
So while I have sort of the, I guess, I don't know if I want to call it like high def, but the ability to show off your cards like a little bit clearer than where you're at. Is there a particular type of card or anything that you want me to show people? You want to talk through like maybe the components of it or anything?
Yes. You can actually choose one of your yellow cards that you have right there. Any one of your yellow cards.
Okay. So like just like one of these, or is there
yes.
one you want to?
Grab the one that's called Explosive Discharge. That one's a fun one to explain.
Okay. I'm going to spread some of these out too, so that like, I mean, people could just kind of see, a little bit about the art and the card frame and that kind of stuff. Again, make sure that you help me direct into the places you want to talk about. So if I take you down the wrong place, but do you want to like, do you think it's the next best thing is to walk us through like the different types of symbols on the card and all that kind of stuff, or what do you want to?
Be perfectly good. So right now you're looking at Explosive Discharge. That is a basic quirk, and up in the top corner, you see a kind of a crystal up there that will actually show what kind of attribute the card is.
We're talking about like this guy?
Yes. We actually have 7 different attributes in our game. We have no attribute, which is what he is showing there. We have unlit, which is a toxic symbol. We have water, we have flame, we have electric, earth, and air as well. And that will be shown in that top corner. Then in the dead center, there is another crystal that has a number there. That number indicates the evolution value that is required to evolve into a entity. So your souls, which are in the deck, they have a 0 or nothing showing there, and that is what is you need to add with your quirks to get to a entity. So Ted, if you can grab that top purple card,
like one of these.
No, purple down towards the bottom. Right this? There. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Bring that up. So if you see, that has a value of 10. So you would actually have to equip enough equipments to your entity. Sorry, I was reading the chat. You have to equip enough entities, quirks to your entity to equal or be greater than that number in the center to ascend into it. It gives a lot of play. There are a lot of different types of yellow cards. So the yellow card that we have presented here, Explosive Discharge, has a very unique and powerful ability, which is when it's played, it will remove 1 quirk card from your opponent, which will set them back as well as give your creature a +3 to its strength, which is very powerful in killing your opponents.
So I have to admit, because of the pace that we're going, it's a lot to take in. So
Yes.
I think even for me, like if I wanted to grasp fully what you're saying enough to play around, I probably have to just replay, which is good. That's why it's in a video. Like we could replay that and then I can listen to it a couple of times, just the same way you have to reread stuff to like fully understand it. So that's okay. I think that I'm not like 100% grasping everything because it's on the video and we can rewatch it. So where do you think you want to go next as far as like important things that you want new fans or prospects to know about when they consider exploring your game? Because remember, and this isn't just for you, this is for all the viewers watching. We want to just show you enough about these games that you can kind of decide if it looks interesting to you or not interesting to you, to the degree that you go look at it, research it yourself. And so with that context, what do you think is the thing you want to tell those people who are considering looking at your game?
So our game is quite unique in the aspect of how you ascend and the way you gain abilities. It kind of meets a few areas similar to like how Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh are, where Magic has these enchantments that you can have or equipments, and how Yu-Gi-Oh has the ability to fuse into a new creature. This kind of looks at that and it is like, we want to take one step further, make it really about the ability of evolving your creature and ascending it into a higher being. This is quite unique, and especially the way our game board is set up, because you start off with only half of your board. And as you progress through the game, you actually gain more of your board, which also gives you more of a powerhouse on your side of the game.
When you say you start out with half, what constitutes starting out with half? Like, does it mean you have cards on it so you occupy the space?
Yeah, so if I switch my camera again, back to our mat.
Mm-hmm.
So here, you would start off in the first Soul C1 section. So you can play in your first event slot, and you have all of these 3 quirk spots, your 1 soul spot, and your 2 token slots. You can't play on any of this half until you've ascended this first soul and gotten your second crystal. So the best way of describing this is your crystal is what powers your half of the board. So once you get your second crystal, that will power your second half of the board. And when you combine them into the cluster, it's powerful enough to power the whole board.
Okay. I'm following you a little bit more now with that.
Yes.
I'm curious about the distribution model and your current stage of the game. So what products are out, what are not out, and then, when you progress further, like, are you a direct-to-consumer? Do you expect to get in LGSs, that kind of thing? I know it's kind of lumped up into 2 questions there, but
yes, of course. So currently we are producing playtesting sets. We currently have 1 set out right now, and that is our Divine versus Unlit set. It's 2 decks.
Is that what I have?
Set. Yes, you have the Unlit versus Divine set.
Okay. You keep talking. I'm going to show people what you're talking about then.
And it is in a nice double tray box. So you have the 2 decks in 1 box. And we are also currently near to production of our second double deck set, which would be our Crag versus Fulgur, which is also known.
What's in the bottom of this box? Did you stuff this box, or is this normal?
No, we added a few extra pieces for you.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know this was in here. I don't want to burn your time on the, like, is this something you want to show off these cards, or would you rather?
Yes, you can actually show off some of these cards.
Okay. I mean, I totally like didn't know that was there.
So
because I saved it for
our
the
holographic cards, as well as our early stage prototypes.
Wow. Dude, well, first of all, thank you. Did not expect that. What am I looking at here?
Prototype highly limited, so you actually have some very limited items to showcase right here.
What's the rarity on the thing we're looking at here?
So we've only produced approximately 20 of that card specifically. And
Yeah,
we actually only produced like 15 of that card specifically. That one there actually will showcase finished artwork by one of our artists, which is Avoid Idol.
I need to get top loaders now on these.
Artwork is insane.
I'm like worried about I got to put them in a safe place on the desk here.
Yes. So these are some of our happy little pieces that we wanted to really showcase for you.
I love this card.
Which the one I just showed, or the one that's on the
Modest Gains.
Okay.
Yes, Modest Gains is one of our favorite cards. This one allows you to draw an extra card every other turn, which power is very powerful in our game.
That's amazing. Like I said, I can't thank you enough. That was a total surprise. I thought I was gonna over here like dissect your box a little, like I was gonna pull out the cardboard and just like see what's going on with it, but like I did not expect that under there. So wait, is this a two-sided card or there two? Oh no, there's two cards.
It's just two cards.
Two cards. Okay. Wow, that's awesome. So what can people do then if they're interested to pursue either investigating more and researching your game and or trying to purchase some of your product?
So we have a website that people can go to. It is sevendwarves.org. And we have a section where you can go to see our Omni TCG. We have other games that will be listed that we are currently working on. We also have a shop there where you can actually view and be able to access some of our early stage game items. Like currently, we still have a prototype player mat, which is what you saw on my screen, that allows for those who are wishing to purchase the game.
So I threw up a question here because Two Fluent's asking, do you have a gameplay video somewhere?
We do. It is on our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is available through our website as well as going through our Discord community channel, where people can actually gain new information prior to when we release it out. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook channel.
And they can just find that just by searching Omni on all the different platforms, basically? Or do you have
yes, they can either find it by searching Omni or Seven Dwarves. And it'll be the number 7 with the word dwarves with no space. And
just to double check, did you already say your webpage, your actual website?
Yes, it is 7, the number 7, and dwarves spelled out .org.
Okay, I just wanted to double check and make sure we got that in there. Any last final thoughts? I think we're about 21 minutes in, which is okay, but I just want to make sure if you're holding on to something. I know it's a little fast, guys. It's first time format. 20 minutes probably does feel a touch fast, but any last things you want to say?
Yeah, so our last thing is we will be launching our Kickstarter in September 1st, and we will be hosting an event that will be across all of our platforms to win our final of our 4-piece metal sign that is engraved with our 7 dwarves, and the number is here illustrated, the number of 4. And this will be our final one on the giveaway section, and all you have to do is post in there what you like. And my camera is going crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. So where do they have to post?
So we'll have it available once our Kickstarter launches. It'll be available across all of our multimedia. So that way you can actually post under any of those, and it would basically be poster response, showcase that you are part of our community, any of those formats, and you get put into the drawing to win our Omni sign.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, man, for giving us the time. And I know we missed out on your partner. He was having technical difficulties. Would have been good to have you both on, but yes. I think it was still good to we got a nice little taste little bit of flavor of Omni there. So anybody who's interested, go ahead and check out their site, their Discord, and dig in, and do your research and figure out if it's something that you're going to enjoy or not.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks, Jacob.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
So next, guys, we have Voyagers of Taozen, if I'm saying that right. And so this is our list for everybody, just keeping you sort of caught up. Let me make this a touch bigger. We just finished Omni. Okay, so we're just gonna give a little. Maybe we'll go with this. We're gonna bring in Voyagers of Taozen next, and then. Sorry, got the Stream Deck going there. And then after that, it's going to be Monsters Glare will be in slot number 3. So, Voyagers, welcome to the show and our very first expo ever.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
Yes, thank you.
That's so it's funny. I don't know if everybody knows who you both are. I mean, AC, I recognize you just because all the different artworks. Do you guys just want to tell us a little bit about who you each are?
Sure. So as you said, I'm AC Faust, otherwise known as Lena Marie. I have been an artist for pretty much most of my life, as long as I could hold a crayon, and progressed to where I am now with my skills. And I'm very happy to be starting this venture with my fiance, Ray.
Yep, I'm Ray. I'm her better half and her partner in this journey that we're going on.
Awesome. Welcome. Just curious, are you on a phone or a tablet that sometimes if you turn them, it'll actually make the whole thing wide for us automatically. You can give it a test if you want.
We are on an iPad. I'm not sure. You want to?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's just
we got everything set up here.
Leave it then. Sometimes we have people on phone and all they got to do is turn and then it goes wide. But yeah, if I don't want to mess up your setup. So let's start with some similar questions so we get like a baseline that I asked Omni. So what stage of the game are you in, right? Like ideation versus, hey, I'm printing cards versus, Kickstarter.
Like in the life cycle.
Yeah, where in the life cycle, and then your intentions for your game. Do you want it to be a big old IP investable, or just, hey, it's a happy fun game, and we're not expecting people to buy like $10,000 cards and stuff like that. Like, what is your intentions?
So right now we're kind of trying to come out of the ideation phase and move into starting to make cards. So we're still working on gameplay at the moment. We've been through quite a few iterations of gameplay. We thought we were onto something, and the game got broken really fast. So we kind of went back to the drawing board, and that's where we are now. Yes, we've got a ton of spreadsheets and stuff here from everything we've been working on. So yeah, we're still very new. We just decided to start with this, I want to say maybe 4 months ago. We finally decided to just take the plunge. We debated doing it for the better part of, I don't know, a year or so. And we finally decided we were just going to do it. There was no use in waiting. As far as where we want to go, we're happy with anything right now. Like our goal is just to make a game that is fun to play, a little challenging, but just mostly fun to play, that people are going to want to take time away from, whatever else it is that they play. Most people play Magic or whatever. That's the big one. I want to make a game that's going to have somebody say, hey, let me take a few minutes away from playing this to, play that. And so, yeah, I'd be happy with anything that people want. Of course, if the game were to take off and it becomes a big thing, that'd be great. If it, becomes a cult hit, that's great too, and it's, that's pretty much that.
We're kind of going it very modestly, but if we do get to that point where it becomes something big, bring it on. That's our mindset. At the end of the day, we're just like everybody else. We have our 9-to-5 job. We go to work and then when we come home, it's Voyagers time.
Awesome. What's the story behind it?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so pretty much what it takes place is the Cytera Galaxy. So you have a bunch of main contenders. The main races are the Feyan, the Kepnusi, the Koronai, the Jingala, and then also the Tasma. So primarily, it's the Feyen versus the Kepnusi, if you want to look at it that way. They've been at war for centuries. The Kepnusi have actually kind of, in a way, like destroyed their home planet. It's a barren wasteland now. There's nothing really there left for them. So they've kind of been forced out of where they, their race began. They're now kind of raiding. They're slavers, traders, all that. Going against like all the other species, raiding home planets of other species. And the Feyen, they're all about preserving their planet and taking care of it, and teaching other races like, hey, don't do that, that's bad. And so they kind of have a huge problem with the way that the Kepnusi have gone about things, especially when the Kepnusi came to them guns blazing. So that kind of sets the main stage, and then the other races get involved there.
Should I be picturing, like, as you're talking, I'm like, my mind is illustrating, should I be picturing like a Star Wars feel? You know how they have like all the different, like there's different planets and different races and different quadrants, and you land in one and like everything looks different, and it's like a different culture, and it's a different monetary system. Is that kind of, or am I totally off base?
No, you're pretty much spot on. For me, when
Okay.
I start developing the story, Star Wars and Mass Effect are my two biggest inspirations for going.
Well, I mean, that's accurate then, right? Like if you described a game that I had no idea what it was going to be, and then I drew Star Wars in my head. Cool. So apologize if you said this already, but do you happen to have any cards, like test cards or anything?
We do.
Can you show it up to the here? Let me make you. There we go.
So we'll kind of go a little story here. The cards have a little bit of a story.
Yeah, excellent.
Because we're still working on gameplay, we're kind of putting a pause on making like more cards that have text and stuff, because we really, really want the focus to be on gameplay. Collectability and stuff will come afterwards. We do have some plans for that, because I know there are some collectors watching. We got you guys. But so
that's cool though. I feel like some new TCGs sort of go the opposite way, focus more on collectability than gameplay.
So this one here was the very first concept that I ever did for the card front. It was kind of me playing around back in the beginning of the year, around January, being like, if it became a thing, what would it look like? So that was the first iteration. And then that was the back of the card there. It features Moriketh, one of the Feyen. She's actually very crucial to the story. So then from there, we had this iteration.
Oh, so you're saying the one you just showed us would not actually be a current looking card? Like that's not your target looking card? That's changed?
So we've gone through a few different card facings. The reason why is because me as an artist, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but like this one was just kind of a concept. Then we worked on the second one that I showed you, and then I'll kind of explain where we're going from there.
Okay.
So the second one, as I said, was this one. This was the Crescent Moon. We really liked the way that this looked, but I feel like from a card standpoint, it was very smushed. So obviously, like, the Crescent Moon takes up a large portion of the bottom half of the card. So it's very
incredibly cool, though.
Well, what I was going to say is, am I looking at that like copper colored? Is that part of the card or a sleeve that you're in there?
No, that's the card.
That's the card.
Wow, that you know what? That does look cool to me. Like, I don't know if I've seen anything like that. I don't know if that's out there or not, but.
And then this is the most recent one. We kind of took a step back from the card front. And I feel like it kind of lost a lot of the stuff. It's still really nice. We tried fiddling around with focusing on the art being the key, like the main art of the character. But we have actually recently gone back to the drawing board. I don't have that yet. That actually was sent to the printers just to see what it would look like. But we are going to be doing a poll on our Instagram and our Discord, because I'm going to do a few more card mock-ups, and we're actually going to let the community vote and see what they want. Because at the end of the day, we can make a card game for ourselves, but it's primarily for the community and for the world.
So, given that you are a TCG artist and tons of experience, you're right, like on a bunch of different TCGs, it's got me thinking, are you like planning on just doing most of the art for this whole thing, or at some point eventually going to do commissionings and like build a team, or like what are you thinking there?
So right now, when it first started off, I was doing a lot of the art. We actually have brought on Zach Mystery. Jeff Pasito from Outer Edge Comics, and also to Troy Kruger as well, as part of our art team. And we have been working with a few other artists off of DeviantArt, which was a platform that I originally came from. And I thought it'd be really cool to incorporate that into our game, a little bit of where I came from into the TCG scene.
Awesome. Do you have more cards, or did I just pull you
We
away
have
from?
we have quite a few more here.
Oh, okay.
So,
This was for our this was our day one. So everybody who was in the Discord on the first day, we gave everybody a copy of this card. It took us a while to get it, but we got it. And this next one was she likes to do little cryptic things within the Discord. And if you catch it, you know, she will give you a card. And this was the first one we did. This was the Seedlings.
What's like when you say like a cryptic thing, like what's like a little thing you would do that should people maybe keep their eye out for?
The meaning of everything.
The answer to everything.
The answer to everything. That's
Okay, so a little bit of a riddle there. Or?
If you've watched a certain movie or read a certain book, you would get it. Don't forget.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool.
And so, in terms of, I know you said you guys are really, really drilling down in playability. Do you have any playable decks at the moment, or are you still working on building like a cohesive universe of cards?
No, we don't. We did. We had a couple decks mocked up, and like you said, it just got completely broken the first playthrough, which we expected. You know, like this is our first foray into game design too, and it's not an easy thing. So yeah, it got demolished. So we've gone back to the drawing board. You know, we spent a couple hours the other night getting a couple decks, starting to get them ready. So hopefully within the next couple weeks, we can actually have a cohesive deck put together for the new iteration of gameplay. We also brought Zach Mystery on with us as a full-time kind of part of the team to help with the gameplay as well.
Yes, and he has been absolutely amazing.
So I was going to say he's an artist, but you're using him also for more than art.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're really excited to be able to work with him. We actually have another meeting that we're going to be doing later on this week on Thursday, so hopefully that will help propel the game forwards in terms of gameplay. And then once Zach is like, yes, we're ready to bring on playtesters, we'll be looking for playtesters to see if you guys can break the game, and let's fix it.
Awesome. Did we cover... We started the story before you showed the cards. Did we cover the full story? You feel like you got...
For the most part, it pretty much the first race that's going to kind of be thrown into the mix will be the Coronae, and that's kind of where the first set will lay out. And then from there, we'll kind of go into the other races and the creatures. So it's pretty much the first set will be the Feyan versus the Kepnusi with the addition of the Coronae.
Yeah, we have a ton of ideas. You know, what a galaxy-spanning story. The ideas and the possibilities are infinite. So,
what do you see for like your official product releases? You know, are you booster boxes, you know, blister packs, like all that kind of stuff, or is that just way too far down the line right now? I'm trying to get a gauge for, you know, what's in your mind, and then like, you know, where and when you think you'll get there.
Well, we're going to be releasing a pack, our first pack, very soon. We're waiting on the cards to arrive now. That's the pack art. As far as booster boxes go, our roadmap is to kind of go a more traditional route with booster boxes and the like. As far as when we're going to be there, we're not quite sure yet. It's a little early on to make any promises on any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're going to be taking a more traditional roadmap as far as the products we would like to release. Like you said, the booster boxes, blister packs, and the like.
And then did you say you were going to leverage Kickstarter, or are you going to take a different model?
Right now, the plan is to leverage Kickstarter, yes. We're hoping to be on Kickstarter by maybe early 2023 is the earliest we're trying to set a goal. So we're looking at maybe trying to hit February, but we're not going to try and tie ourselves down to a specific date. When we think the gameplay is ready, that's when it'll be.
Yeah, we don't want to make the mistake of going to Kickstarter and showing a concept of cards and then being like, you know what, everything has to be changed. Because we can do the art, that's not a problem. We have an amazing team, but for both of us, because we not only collect cards, we also play games too. So for us, the gameplay is super important.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of games that go to Kickstarter with like a lot of years, built up prior to, and I wonder if, to your point about waiting for that gameplay to really be lock solid, that I wonder if that time helps, just because even when you test and you're like, okay, I've done enough phases of testing, I must be good now. There's something just about time, like there's things just pop up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I don't know did you mention the your time frame on, or no, you didn't. You just said you want to get so confident about that gameplay before you think about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like you said, the earliest we would try and want to be think about a Kickstarter would be early 2023. We're trying to aim for that, but like I said, if we don't make, early winter, then it is what it is. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
We're going to take the time that we need to. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be around. We're really active in the community, so we're going to be here.
Yep, and we always say we're always welcoming people to join us for the journey. It's a journey for us, and also too, it's a journey for the community that wants to stand around and watch and get involved. We're always asking questions, picking people's brains, and we want you guys to pick our brains, like we are doing right now. Like we believe transparency is key, especially with everything going on in the TCG world, from big games to small games. There's just so many moving parts. So at the end of the day, as long as you're honest, upfront, and open with people, and be like, hey, this is where we are, I feel like that's just the best way to be. And that's just how we're just going about this right now.
Yeah, it's a lot to navigate because you're not just trying to start a game, you're trying to start a company.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. The game happens to be the product.
And
I it's an interesting thing to really soak that in. If you ask somebody, that says, I want to make a game, if you ask them, well, but do you want to build a company? And if those answers are different, maybe they don't realize that it's actually a very, very large endeavor.
we're
to be able to do that.
into exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You've got about a minute left or so. Where can people go to continue to research and investigate and learn about your game?
You can actually find us on Instagram, Voyagers TCG. You can also find us on YouTube as well. We're still new on YouTube, so please bear with us. I'm still learning how to make videos and stuff. You can type in Voyagers of Taozen or Voyagers TCG. Videos should pop up. And then also too, we have a website, www.voyagerstcg.com, and we actually do have some test cards available on there. So if you want to be a part of the journey, by all means, come join us.
Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us in the first ever Ted's Basement TCG Expo.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for the
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Looking forward
Thank
to hearing
you.
more.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. We have Monsters Glare next. Before I bring them in, McGreg's, anything that we should catch up on before I bring anyone else in?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. What's up, T from Monsters Glare?
What's going on, T?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
I'm doing good. This is cool. This is exciting.
For sure, man. It's been great to watch and listen to all of the other games go so far. But I mean, first, thank you for having this. I think it's dope that you're giving us a platform to talk to people about our game, and this is really cool. It's really cool. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Is this the first time? Because I don't know you. I don't know much about the game, but is this? Oh no, I've seen Monsters Glare around. I take that back. I was going to ask, how exposed are you out there? Like, can people find a lot of videos on Monsters Glare right now, or
Yeah.
content?
So yeah. So we are gonna have some play testing videos come out very soon. But right now, we're really just building up our community, getting people to, really know what this game is about, letting them get to meet me as the creator. Really just kind of building our following. We actually just hit 500 followers, and I haven't made a big post about it yet. So I'm excited about that. I got to make some kind of post just to celebrate and maybe a giveaway. But I mean, we're out here, and I'm just really excited to be in this space for real.
It looks like you're already getting some props from Dex and Drought saying that loves your energy. So, and it's palpable.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
it,
it's in a good way. You're elevating my own little excitement going on right now.
Man, yeah.
So let's unpack some stuff about Monsters Glare.
Cool.
Give us an idea of what stage the game is in and your intentions for your game.
For sure. So I've heard you ask this question for the last two people. First and foremost, we do want to be a major IP. I mean, we want to be great. We are following in the footsteps of people like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. We have toon kind of style monsters. So I think that a lot of the time down the road, we are going to get that Pokemon comparison a lot. And so, we just want to be able to be in the same kind of space as those big dogs. And so that's the goal. And so we are new. The stage that we are in, we call this stage Wave 2. So if you follow us on Instagram, on Discord, you know that we are in Wave 2. So Wave 1 was a 500 print sample run of one of our first monsters. His name is Chuck T. Just really kind of got that out because we wanted to see what the card would look like, make it real. After that, we entered into Wave 2, and that has allowed us to release 50 different designs. So we have 50 different designs, whether that's monsters, FX cards, anything along that lines. And we wanted the game to be playable. So we are still in the sample kind of realm. So we are still testing out hollow prints. We're still testing out design. We're still figuring out layouts. So we're still figuring things out. So I think that's why it's so great that we are in the stages that we're in, because we are getting some really, really invaluable feedback from everybody in the community. So part one, we want to get big. We want to scale. We want to go there. Part two.
Look what I found.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
Well, you mentioned that you had the Wave 2, so I figured, maybe I'll go out there and see what's out there. Yeah. Do you point us to anything in particular?
Sure. So let's see if you that drop down menu. Actually, if you just scroll on down, let's go. Yeah, you can go to the rules. Go to the rules. That'd be cool. And we'll just kind of like let that live for a little bit. But so that is that's our website. So Monsters Glare is hosted underneath my parent company, which is Imagination Studios. And so Imagination Studios is a production studio that my wife and I created. We have so many ideas, and we wanted to host them all in one place. And so that's where Imagination Studios came. And I wanted to do a trading card game. And so that is why we are here talking to Ted's basement, talking about this thing. And so in Wave 2, our game is playable. So it is playable. We did pre-orders, I think, about 3 months ago. And with the pre-orders, we sold booster packs. So we had 1,000 booster packs that went out. We sold, I think, about 20 different deck bundles, which allowed people to get in the deck bundle. You got 2 decks. You got 2 game mats so that you can play. You got these things that we're calling glare tokens. So they're like these little coins that you get inside of there. That's kind of how you play the game. So we really wanted to up the stakes And so how we did that is we added the glare tokens. So when you are battling your monsters, if you lose one of your monsters, so one of your monsters dies, you have to give up one of your glare tokens. So it's really up to you and whoever you're playing. You don't have to give them up, but it's definitely going to be one of those pieces of the games that is going to be fun, because you could come into the game with 3 glare tokens, you could leave with 6, or you could leave with 0. So like, it's going to be so crazy once people really get into it. So yeah.
So who are these guys here? These characters here that I'm looking at?
Yeah, so we call those our starter monsters, and so that's Tumley. The little green one's Tumley. The red one is Chuck T, and the blue one is Fluritap. And so these maybe I should start with, what are they? These are glare monsters. And so the whole game is called Monsters Glare. And so you'll see us in comments and hashtagging. We'll always say, keep your eyes on the glare, because the glare is going to tell you something about those monsters. So these 3 monsters right here, they are all 2 glare monsters. And so one thing that you need to know about a 2 glare monster, anytime you see a 2 glare monster, so let's use Fluritap for a chance. Fluritap is a 2 glare monster. Anytime you see a 2 glare monster, they will always mutate into another monster. Okay. So this is Fluritap's mutation Kingwin. So we call them mutations because we built the game kind of playing off the term of NFT. Now, when you hear NFT, a lot of people are like, oh no, not the NFT, but it's not the same NFT. It's actually stands for the neurofractal telefield. And so that is a digital space that these monsters were created in. They were originally created just for people to look at, kind of like museum pieces, but like in a communication device. But then somebody went into the NFT and they hacked it, and they made it so that these monsters can actually come to life. And so they are everywhere. And so people are really trying to get their hands on their monsters, and it's going crazy. So that's the whole kind of, like, I guess, backstory of Monsters Glare and why they're here in this world. So yeah.
We got a question for you. Are the tokens actually passed around player to player for keeping, like Pogs?
They are for keeps. It is not like it is not like a, hey, after the game, give me those back. Oh no, you lost them, buddy.
Wow. Okay. Are they like limited? Like, are there going to be different types of tokens, and then you just start getting into all the different collections of tokens?
Absolutely. So we are going to we have a lot of plans for the glare tokens, but right now we only have we're calling these like our OG glare monster tokens right now. Let me see if I can pull one out. And so why this is so OG is because we actually ended up putting the original design. Let me see if you can see this. Maybe I gotta get
that first angle you had might do it. Yeah, when it's got like a little bit of that light, we could see the shape. Yeah, it's just for some reason the camera doesn't want to focus. Yeah. I'm used to that.
Well, trust me, there's artwork on here, but like on one side it has like the eyes for the glare, and then on the other side it's got a picture of Tumley, but his very first design. So we really wanted it to kind of be almost like a fossil, like, oh, this is the original design. So if you are purchasing in on Wave 2, you have a chance to get your hands on some glare tokens. So if you buy a deck bundle, you're going to get 10 glare tokens. But if you get booster packs, we're actually putting glare tokens in random packs. So like the more you get, the more there's a possibility that you'll be able to build that collection of glare tokens. Go.
But if you're putting tokens in the packs, aren't they going to like nick the cards and stuff, or like how are you doing that?
No. So we've actually had no issues so far. We've tested it out. We've shaken them up. They go right in the front, and it'll be, I guess, right up against what we call a base card. So those are like our common cards.
Okay.
It won't hurt the card. It hasn't hurt the cards yet, unless you're like really going to town on one of those packs. But like we put it in the front because the front is going to be like a base card, and like it's like no harm, no foul if a base card gets nicked a little.
If it gets nicked, yeah. I mean, I'd have to imagine though at scale, right? Like when you go out to who knows how many million packs or whatever number, there's got to be situations and environments where that might nick the card. To your point, if it's a bulk card, and then hopefully we don't have a scenario where it like goes through the card or anything to another card. We all know how like pretty much bulk goes.
Oh yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
I've got bulk from Magic that I could like build like a mini tree house with. It's so like I get it. But it was just something that I thought of because I was like, okay, yeah, you got like a metal card, metal coin on there.
Absolutely. So like once we get to a certain point to where, so like right now with Wave 2, we are hand packing everything right now. So in this wave, we will have 4,000 booster packs total, never released again.
Hand packing 4,000.
We are hand packing 4,000.
Yeah, you're taking you are taking a trip there with that. Is that in process or not?
It is in
not
process.
Yet started.
Yeah, it's in process. So we actually all pre-orders are out the door. So we packed all 1,000 packs so far. They are gone out the door, not in our hands. And so I have a vacation coming up soon. I'm gonna go do that, have a good time, and then when I get back, we are packing until September 30th, and that is when we officially launch.
That's awesome. Well, you got the hustle going there for sure. Trying to get 4,000 packs in. So let's see. I know we talked about the monsters, but I don't know that we really talked about the actual storyline. Did we cover that?
Just briefly.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things people are interested in. They want to know like what like sort of world does the game take place in and that kind of stuff. You want to walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So, hey, we are in the process of still building this whole world. But we actually have kind of our lead character. Her name is Sanaa. And so for everybody who has seen Sanaa, this is Sanaa, and that is her Tumley. So you're going to see Tumley a lot. I guess you would just equate Tumley to like Pikachu and Ash. That is like who Sanaa and Tumley are. And so you are going to see the adventures of her as she's gaining glare monsters. She has a genius little brother who loves glare monsters and actually learns how to create his own glare monsters. And so actually one of the most rare cards in the game right now, I don't know if you can see it, his name is LeBark James. Kind of like LeBron James, LeBark James, and he's actually named after my dog.
Okay.
Yes, so LeBark James, that's my dog. And
that's the bark. I didn't even because I just thought I figured you were just changing like the name up, but there's actually a meaning to that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's my actual dog. And so he's I think he's a 1 in 25 card, and mind you, the print run is 50,000 cards, and so it's a 1 in 25 that's floating out there. We definitely packed some in pre-orders. I haven't seen anybody open that up yet, so we're excited. But yeah, so her little brother can actually create glare monsters, and we're going to see that unfold. But we actually have a first issue comic that will be dropping next month. And the comic is going to be free for people to read online. It's really just an intro into Sanaa when she meets Tumley, and it's fun. It's kind of anime stylish, really cute. But we wanted to give people a look into what this world can look like, because we have goals of having animation. We have goals of turning this thing into a whole world. So so excited about this.
If you're gonna have the comic readable online, are you going to print ever? Are you going to make that like a limited print run or unlimited print run or something like that?
Oh yeah, we're for sure going to print. But the thing is, we are probably saving the print run for Kickstarter. So it'll be kind of one of those bundles. If you are interested in the comic, in the lore, we're going to do a full graphic novel, probably like a 80-page thing. So like you can buy that tier if you want it. But for right now, we just really wanted to put that out there for the people who love Monsters Glare so far. I want you guys to jump into the world. We want you to get in. So yeah, it'll be readable on our website. You can read it all day, all night, and get ready for when the cards actually launch so that you can get your hands on those.
So I'm looking at your site now, and I might as well just pull it up so we can all look at the same thing.
Cool.
And I'm seeing like, okay, we got the Wave 2, we got the Wave 2 cards, we have 2 frequently asked questions. What I came here for is I was looking to see like what products other than that are there out there, or is it all like what can somebody buy today, or is there not anything yet?
Yeah, so like I said, pre-orders have already gone. We sold out pre-orders, but September 30th, and that actually brings me a good thought process. We need to put this date on the website, but September 30th is actually the day that we officially launch Wave 2. And so we've been kind of telling everybody we want to treat September 30th as if it's a Kickstarter launch day. So that means we want our fans to rally behind this day, and we want to sell out in the first week, because they say, you know, that first day is really crucial in Kickstarter. That first week is also very crucial. So like, we are doing everything marketing wise to really tell people, hey, we need you to show up for us, because we always have said since the beginning that we are not going to Kickstarter until we earn a Kickstarter. And so in my mind, 2023 is going to be when we launch that Kickstarter. And so right now we're riding this Wave 2. I'm so excited. I love everything that we've been able to create. And I've spoken about this to a couple of spaces, but if we sell out of Wave 2, I am guaranteeing to the people that we're going to do something called Wave 2.5. And that's basically where I'm going to order another 50 different designs. And we're going to get another like 4,000 packs, and they're going to go out into the world. But it's going to go out in a fraction of the cost of what they are now. So I can't wait for us to really, really, really make this happen. So Wave 2 is to really jumpstart us. Wave 2.5 is kind of like a thank you for supporting this. Here's some more cards. Let's do this, and it'll hold us over until we get to Kickstarter.
And you know, tell me if this is just way too far out to have it matter, but after Kickstarter, do you see yourself sort of doing like the distribution LGS model, just stay direct to consumer for a while until you feel like confident that you can get into another type of model, or what's your thoughts like post Kickstarter?
I think right now we're going to ride this wave of like direct to consumer, just kind of see how that goes first. But if we get to a space to where it's like, you know, we need to change models, we need to go and scale, we're going to run with it. You know, like one thing is I'm not afraid of change. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid of making things happen. I'm not afraid of listening to feedback. So like, these are things that are constantly in my head, and I'm listening to the voices of the community when people are telling me all the time, like, hey, T, we like this, but we don't like this. But we love this, but you can make that better. So like, we're listening to all of that stuff. So like, so yeah, if it feels like and it sounds like we need to go a different route, that's what we're gonna do. But because we have Imagination Studios behind us, we have a whole platform that we can continue to push this thing. It more so feels like we would hire somebody in-house to distribute versus going and you know, making something. So we want to just continue to keep building this business, keep listening to the people and knowing what it is that they want to do.
So can they find you guys at Collecticons?
So we won't be at cons this year, just because this is really our first year kind of like establishing, and we just got product in, I think about a month or so ago. And so it was really kind of late for us to jump into those cons. But again, I've said it on multiple platforms that funding from Wave 2 sales, that is going to also help us get to cons for next year. So we are allocating money like for those, for the sales of Wave 2 to get us at these cons, get us things to give out to people. So you will see a lot of us in 2023. I've been telling everybody that is the GOAT year. My personal account is the GOAT, but it's spelled GEOAT because I say that I am the greatest entertainer of all time, but the E is silent. So I'm the GOAT. So next year, 2023 is the GOAT year. It's the Jordan year. It's the LeBron year. It's the Monsters Glare year. It is the GOAT year. So I hope everybody's ready for this.
That's awesome.
T, before we let you go, I have one question. How are you like sourcing the artwork? Are you creating it yourself?
Yeah, so yeah, I am actually the artist on Monsters Glare. I actually taught myself how to draw during the pandemic.
Cool.
I needed something to rack my brain around this terrible time.
Crazy.
Instead of going crazy, I bought an iPad and I said, you know what, we're in the house, let's learn. So every day I just learned how to draw until I got to a point to where I felt like I'm an illustrator and like I had confidence in that. And so that's where I went into I started drawing a monster randomly, which was Tumley, our first monster that was ever created. And I looked at him and I said, he's cute, but something is off. And so I'm looking and I erased the eyes and then I threw him at the top of his head. And I said, there it is.
That's it.
We did it. We just created a whole thing. And from there, that's where glare monsters come from. So like, yeah, you'll see floating eyes on our monsters. Like you got to keep your eye on the glare to know about those glare monsters. And that's the whole thing about it.
And did you have a TCG in mind when you were, drawing that initial artwork, or what were your intentions?
So it's a two-part question in my mind for this one, because gameplay wise, my head always went to Yu-Gi-Oh because I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I'm thinking, okay, I want it to feel familiar. But then I noticed that my style is very kind of, like I said, tune-based. So Pokemon, like that's obviously the big comparison that we're gonna get most of the time. And I shout out to all of the Titans like that. Like those are the big dogs. And so I'm honored to even be thought into those spaces. But yeah, that's kind of like those are the ones I would compare to, but I use that word loosely because we would like to say we are uncomparable, but we do love to say that there is space in this world for everybody to win. If you ever talk to me, if you ever shoot me a DM, I mean, we all can win. Every single person that comes on here and talks to Mac and talks to Ted tonight, like we all can win. So like there's really no competition. You're not even competing with yourself. You are just working to make yourself better. So that's what we're all here for.
Well, where can people go we just looked at your site. Where can they go to start investigating more? If this sounded interesting to them and they want to start sort of like peeling back that onion and exploring in Monsters Glare.
I would say come visit us on Instagram. And our Instagram is Monsters Glare TCG. From there, you can reach me. I read every single DM, and I will shoot you a link to the Discord. But if you go to Monsters Glare TCG, it also has the link to our website, which is imaginationstudios.net. And so the reason why I send people to the Instagram is because you're probably going to spell imagination wrong the first time. Imagination, what we say is imagination is a place. Yes, it's a thing in your mind, but it's a place. So that's where it's like you imagine and you go to this place, which is the nation. So it's Imagination Studios.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us the time. It was a blast. Your energy is palpable, and I had fun, listening to you describe Monsters Glare to us here on the first Expo.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having us, man. It's really an honor, Ted. I think I was like slid in a comment. I'm like, man, I can't wait to make it to Ted's basement. So man, thank you so much for having us. Yes, I would love to see everybody who's been in the chat tonight come shoot us a DM. Ted, I would love to continue this relationship. Mac, this is my first time meeting you, man. Pleasure to meet you. Hopefully we can talk
to meet you too,
man. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Have a good one, man. Take it easy. Bye. Peace. All right. Let's everybody. Let me just kind of zoom in here. We just finished Monsters Glare. You guys can see I'm kind of like trying to keep a little bit track of the time. We do the best we can to try to make it even. Everybody hopefully try to get at least 20 minutes and around that time. But I think we're going to have Legions of Will next, and it looks like we're already at 39. I think to be safe, I'm just going to set it to 40.
And just
then bring them in.
This is probably my 20-minute warning. I probably have to head out after this last one here.
Yeah, totally. No problem at all. Yeah, I did not mention to everybody earlier that McGregor's was going to stay on as long as he could, but we knew from the get-go that he was not going to stay on for the whole thing. Okay, let's see. We have Legions of Will. Welcome to the first Ted's Basement TCG Expo.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm going to start similar because I want to give everybody the same sort of like palette of answer so they get enough feel for like what your intentions are with your game, what the stage is of your game right now.
Yeah. So right now we already have 2 waves of sample packs. The third wave is coming like August, like mid-August, late August.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, right now the focus is just continuing to focus on the gameplay.
Okay, so you're testing and developing cards and sort of like the early stages, it sounds like.
I'd say that we're past the testing phase. So I've been play testing since 2020, 2021. And we actually already have like a tournament, our first tournament under our belt. And we have our second tournament this weekend, the 30th. And then and that's for like the deck building, because there's a lot of deck building strategies. And then we have a tournament coming shortly after that for new players. So the gameplay is very much like established.
So tell us something then about that gameplay or the mechanics that make your game different than others.
Yeah, so I played a lot of Magic. I did some Magic competitively. I did a lot of Commander. And so that's where my background comes from. And what I found out after playing for so long, it was hard to get more people to play, and the play group I had sort of dissolved. So I wanted to make my own game that would be easy for people to get into, but still have that deck building strategy. So yeah, the game overall is very simple. If you're used to Magic, then it's very easy to grasp. There's a 6-minute how to play video on our YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very easy to get into.
What's the channel? So we make sure that people know.
You just look up Legions of Will TCG, you'll find it. You can also go to the website legionsofwill.com, and there's a link to everything there.
Cool.
Gotcha.
What's like your primary distribution network?
So right now the sample packs have been print to demand for within like a 1 or 2 week window.
Okay.
So the wave 1 packs we sold 250, and then wave 2, which are these black ones here. The first ones were gold. The black ones 500 sold.
Those are cool. I like that artwork.
Oh,
is that an eye?
Yeah, so that's actually the main logo.
Ah. Is there a story behind that?
Not behind the logo really. It just kind of fits into the theme of everything. There's definitely some like occult, spiritual philosophy and esoterics. That's like where the influence comes from. So the eye representing that. So and then yeah, so the third wave sample packs, we have No print to demand, no pre-orders necessary. Those are going to be out of pocket, 1,000 packs available on the website around August. So 1,000 packs are getting printed right now. They're in production, and once they arrive, they'll be available.
So I want to touch back on your intentions as far as like, if your ideal goal for like game size, again, like, do you want to be like that huge IP, like that Pokemon thing? Is that the goal? Investable product? Or do you want to be more like somewhere in the middle? Or do you want to be, I don't care what size I get to, this is a game of passion, this is all for fun, and I don't expect like big money cards and stuff like that. So somewhere on that scale, where do you put yourself?
Yeah, so when I made this, I had no idea that there was an indie TCG community. I only really knew of the Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I did hear MetaZoo, so that was about it. So I had no idea.
What do you mean? What do you mean you heard metas? What do you mean?
Well, like that was as far as like when I heard about MetaZoo, they weren't really the at the level they are now. So that was like the most indie TCG that's as far as I got with it. So
gotcha.
So yeah, I made the game for myself and my friends, and I had no idea that there was this community. So it's really I'm scalable with in a healthy way. So as things scale, then I'm ready for that. But yeah, I'm just making a game for people to play and enjoy, basically. Yeah.
Okay. And so the next place I wanted to go was like the world, like the story or the world that the game is actually played in.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic version of our Earth. It's a little different. There are some biblically accurate angels, demons, and there are these things called Vitarians. So here's an example of a Vitarian. So it takes place in this post-apocalyptic world, and there are, other beings that exist. It's kind of like a very spiritual influence. So there's like polarities, negative and positive polarities that are imbalanced, and you're witnessing these things that are otherwise hidden in our material world.
When you said spiritual,
right.
So like what's an example of that?
Like the angels and demons.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Here's an example of one of the angels. So this is a angel of protection. So you have biblically accurate angels, and then there are the demons. So those are just a few of the unit types in the game.
I see what you're saying. Do you have like a playmat or a board that is unique, or is it does it like sort of not matter where you put the cards down?
No, so you have 3 bases. So your goal is to destroy all 3 of your opponent's bases, and so that's really it. So you have your 3 bases laid down on the playmat or on the battlefield, and how you orientate your cards is really up to you.
Do you have a site or anywhere, like, because I can go there if you have a picture up on the internet, and then I can show us here. Do you have one? Because I kind of want to see, when you say bases, that sounds interesting. But I don't know what to picture in my head.
Yeah. Well, you can go to the website. There's a lot of information.
What is it?
Legionsofwill.com.
Legion.
The way you describe it almost seems like a combination, or like MOBA meets TCG.
What is
like MOBA, like League of Legends, where you have like towers that you have to defend.
Oh yeah. So
TCG.
Actually, so here's one of the bases. It's the bases are base cards, and this one actually is a tower. It's called Tower of Divinity. Yep, and on the website you can see the other one. The base cards have an activation cost on the back, so that's one of the ways you know it's a base. It also says on the front, on the top of the card. The rest of the card backs look like that.
And so, win conditions, is it, destroying all 3 of your opponent's bases? Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what? I didn't catch that each person has 3 bases. There's not 3 total.
Yeah. So you yourself would have
Okay.
3 bases. Yeah.
I see. I'm gonna zoom this in. I just happened to look at the parts of the card part of your website. Do you want to walk us through any of this here?
Yeah. So the card name at the top, underneath it, the card type. So there are bases, upgrades, traps, actions, and units. Actions are your spells that can be played at instant speed. So if you're familiar with Magic, every action.
Can I pause you for a second?
Sure.
You said a bunch of terms that I'm not seeing here. How come I'm? Is it just I'm supposed to translate it, or?
So you see where it says card type right under the yeah. So that points to where it says unit.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know if you know how like a lot of card games have like a translation. You know how like you call a card something different in a certain game, or you call a deck. Yeah, I didn't know if you had I didn't know if you were saying the translation version of that, or you know what I'm saying. Okay, so you've got so you've got the card name, card type. The cost is the 8, right?
Yep, that's a resource cost.
What are you paying? What's your resource?
So your bases produce resource, and at the start of your turn, your resource caps at 20. So at the beginning of each of your turns, you would gain your resource depending on your bases, and then you would use that resource to pay for all your cards.
Gotcha. Now I'm seeing text.
Yep.
Is the text going to be lore, mechanics, or both?
It's all mechanics. There's actually the winner of the first tournament got to design their own card, and they insisted on having flavor text on it. So we did experiment with some flavor text on there. Actually, I might have an example. I do.
So like the one I'm reading looks to be more like a mechanic than lore, right? Because it's saying like when this does that. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I let's just hypothetically say this card here, we'll use my in mirrored, has let's say it had lore on it. I know it doesn't, but let's say it did.
Right.
Would the lore just go down here in the empty space, or would it be like a totally different looking box to hold the lore in?
If there's enough space in the card, we absolutely could fit it there. But the card that was designed that does have flavor text has it just above the text box in a sort of like borderless fonts style.
So it'd be like up here somewhere above the text box. Okay. Another thing pulling my attention, and again, steer me if you were about to go somewhere else, steer me back to what you wanted to talk about, but will and power seems interesting. I'm curious what that's about. Like what's will and what's power?
Yeah. So based on Legions of Will, each unit has a will requirement, and that will requirement is right there, the smaller number next to the bigger red circle.
So we're looking at like this guy, the 6. I think it's a 6.
Exactly.
Okay, that's your will. Okay.
Yep. So when you go to attack, you have that requirement. So you roll a d12 to see if you can roll equal to or greater than that number.
Oh.
And then that allows you to attack.
So it's kind of funny because like I'm starting to connect why it's called will, because you're almost like, do I have the will to play this card? And it's a random thing because the dice are going to tell you that. I do like that it's got to be the 6 or higher, not 6 only, because then it's like, it's gonna be hard to play that card.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the power? Is that just like attack, like standard kind of a power?
Yep, it's power and toughness. So that's how much damage it'll take to destroy the unit and how much damage it can deal.
Okay. And is the cost like I know we talked about cost, but I don't actually know what the cost is. Is it mana? Is it land? Is it crystals?
So it's defined as resource, and your bases produce different bases produce resource. So it's all like a sort of like colorless resource.
So you know what? Now you've reminded me. Like I came here because I was trying to look to see if there was a picture of like the bases, like what that means. Is this it? Like where is there a good place that you could give us like a bird's eye view of what a game board looks like with the bases and everything?
I'd say the YouTube video would probably be the best for that. You can see the base cards if you scroll up a little bit. The game board really is just 3 base cards lined up next to each other on the board.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. I was just trying to figure out what they were. So a base is represented by a base card.
Yeah, so it should be up a little bit, I believe. Right there.
Oh, there you go. Bases. Okay. Oh, and it's more like a it's kind of like a land thing, right?
Exactly,
Like territory. Yeah. Okay. These
Really
have
cool artwork.
these have data values on them.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on real quick. McGreg's, was that you?
Oh yeah, I was just saying that's incredibly cool artwork.
Okay. I want to make sure whatever the point is, you've got to go. Just cut us off real quick and let us know, because I want to give you a proper sign off, if we can. If you just have to drop, you have to drop. That's totally fine. So yeah, walk us through this base card and these numbers.
So the bottom left is the defense level of the base. So that's how much damage you're going to want to deal in a single turn to destroy that base, turning it face down. And your opponent can reactivate their base any number of times at no extra cost on their turn. So the idea is to make sure that they have all three of their base cards destroyed and face down. The middle number is the capacity. That's how many non-base permanents you can attach to the base. Those would be upgrades, traps, and units.
Can I stop you there? That sounds interesting. You're talking about attaching permanents, so I'm assuming a card attaching to the base. So like you're building up around the base. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Typically, people will put the units in front of the base and the upgrades to the left of it, so that way you can actually tuck the upgrade cards underneath the base card and see those the modifier values. And then your traps. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Are you then like, because I'm picturing you build up this base, but then are you like, does cards move at all, or it's just bases can attack bases and it doesn't matter where they're at on the board?
So your units will attack the base, similar to Magic, where your creatures attack your opponent, and then you can.
Oh, okay. So you don't actually have to move, like, because like in Magic, you don't actually have to like. I see sometimes people like pick up a card and they like touch the other card, but like you don't really have to do anything. The fact that it's on the board means it's in play, and it means that its ability can just affect another card on the board.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I get you.
And and then the resource cost is that bottom right number. So for example, this base will gain you 2 resource at the start of each of your turns. So there's other ways to gain resource. Obviously, you can flip over your other bases to gain more resource, and you can play upgrades to increase the defense, capacity, and resource values of your base.
Okay. The bases is interesting. If you defeat one, and I know you got 3, right? If you got 3, you defeat one. Didn't I hear you say you could bring one back? You could rejuvenate it or something?
Yeah, on the back of every base, there's a number, and that represents how much resource it costs to activate that base.
Ah, so this is now I'm starting to get, when you had said originally you were talking about like, I don't know what the exact term you said, but it was like the power beacons thing, where like if you you stand near it, you can rejuvenate it, you could bring it back up. Yeah, there's games like digital games where you got the base concept, but if your opponent stands close to it or attacks it, your opponent can take over the base or destroy the base. But then if you go back to it, you could bring that base back up to speed, and it sounds like that's what you're describing.
Yeah, as long as it's your turn, you can reactivate. So basically, your opponent attacks your base, it gets destroyed. If you have one base open, for example, you'd still be in the game, and then on your turn, you can use your resource to flip over your base if that's part of your strategy.
Let's see. Do you think, and because you know more about the game than me, with a few minutes left, is the best place to go looking at some of like more of the cards that you have that I was, we were looking at here and kind of talking through, or is there something else that you want to share with everybody that you feel like is like more important?
I'd say that, on the website, there's pretty much everything you need, how to play. There's a tabletop simulator. We have a play group of people. We have 10 people signed up for our deck building tournament, which is our second tournament this Saturday. And then soon after that, we'll be doing another tournament for starter players using the starter decks. So there's a lot of players that are active in the Discord who are ready to play, teach, and yeah, products like the next wave of sample packs will also be on the website. So everything is on the website, and I can go over some other cards. These are from our most recent, the second sample wave. This was one of the designer cards by the winner of the first tournament, who is also happened to be the artist. So
speaking of cards, somebody's asking about chase cards. Do you have chase cards built in yet, or will you ever?
So for chases, I know in the Angel of Protection in the gold, basically anything legendary, which you could tell by the purple symbol. Angel of Protection was one of the chase cards in the gold packs. This is the playtest edition. And then in the second packs, these black packs here, just the hollow foil legendaries happen to be the chases.
Gotcha. Let's see. So we've got about a minute left. I know you've already kind of pointed people to your site.
Yep.
Do you have other, and you've mentioned the gameplay video. Do you have other resources that you want to direct people to, a Discord or an Instagram or something that you think is useful for people to decide if they want to dive in further?
Yeah. So Instagram would be Legions of Will TCG. You can find the Discord link there. This was the 100 member Discord promo that we just had.
That's cool.
Yeah. So just Legions of Will TCG on Instagram, legionsofwill.com, and the Discord is where everything happens. That's where all the announcements happen, and that's where people gather to play the game.
Awesome. Well, dude, I want to thank you again for coming on the show, and I hope that this is something we get to do more of, and you're kind of like locked in history here in the first ever expo on Ted's Basement. So thank you. I really, really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right, Ted, I must part ways here. It's been an awesome time.
Dude, you know what? You have been so much help. And I also kind of want to throw there's somebody's talking about their I've got stiff competition.
To guess,
so
it's all right.
Yeah, I think they're talking about hair, and yeah, it's just I was briefly scrolling through some of the chats with my my eyes. And so yeah, congratulations, your stiff competition. We need to get you a badge.
Well, thanks for having me. I had a great time. A lot of these games are so cool. Definitely gonna have to give them a follow and check them out.
Yeah, and we probably should have done this maybe at the beginning, but McGreg's is a TCG hobbyist as well, and you, I think, would say, because I think you've told me this before, not as much indie as you are like Pokemon. But do you want to just give us a brief, just like what's your brief background, and then where your socials are, like where can they go to check out your stuff?
Yeah, so I believe my name should be showing here. McGreg's on pretty much all platforms. I may have one or two S's depending on what platform you're on. But so I dabble a little bit in indie TCGs. I like to hear about all of them. I'm not big on playing TCGs. I'm more of like a collector of like artworks that I like. Not necessarily concerned about like the values of cards or anything like that, but that's always an added bonus depending on the longevity of games. But that's sort of, my interest in the hobby. Grew up playing Pokemon and collecting Pokemon, and, it stemmed from there.
I was thinking that, we definitely want to make sure we plug your stuff So what I'm going to do here is, while you were talking, I already just pulled up your stuff.
Cool.
So there is McGreg's on Instagram. Here is McGreg's on TikTok. And I think, is that differently spelled? You told me something was differently spelled. Yeah, this one is the 2.
Yeah, some platforms have 2 S, some have 1.
That's got the 2. That's got the 1.
I think everything's 1 except Instagram.
And then you got the YouTube too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that one again? With
one S? I think it's 1S. Maybe it's 2.
I love
1S. You'll find it with 2.
I love that response. I think it's the 1S. That's very, very cool. Well, thank you, man. Again, I'll let you run. I'll stop holding you up. I hope we get to do this again sometime. And maybe have you on and just do like a podcast chat or something about something else. So
that'd be awesome.
Cool.
Right,
Take it easy, man. Peace.
Thanks everyone in the chat. See ya.
Bye. Well, everybody, I am now by myself. So I don't have my mod. Be gentle. We have coloring battle cards going to be coming up next. I'll just give you a quick little shout here for the remainder, and then Hyper Jukin and Gem Blenders. So we've got, it's about 10:04 Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and make this a 10:05. I just want to make sure I don't short you down to the 19 minutes. And of course it bumps it there to AM, but that's fine. So we are going to be bringing in coloring battle cards. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you. I remember we were in last night, we were testing stuff. You were in the attic and we were making sure you could connect. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It is something, like, I didn't get a chance to meet everybody, before they came on. But it is something to be said. If you can get a chance to meet someone even for a few minutes, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I know you a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So coloring battle cards.
All right.
Before we get into questioning, and I apologize for everybody watching. Like, I didn't even really think about this. I should be pulling up the websites and showing you guys stuff while they're talking. I picked up on that like a few games in. So apologize for the first couple games. I wasn't doing that. But if you want to give me your website or an Instagram, I could be showing stuff if you want.
Yeah, no problem. It's coloringbattlecards.com. Simple as that. I also have an Instagram at coloringbattlecards.com. And that's about it. I haven't really stretched out to like the other social media, like Facebook and this, that, the other yet. But Instagram is probably where you're going to see the most stuff that I'm showing, what I'm kind of working on, what's coming out next, when things are coming out.
I see you got my little for like an ad for tonight's episode. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this looks very different to me.
Yeah.
Than what I'm used to seeing.
Yes, and that's the whole thing. Is coloring battle cards is just a unique experience. I think is the greatest way to call it, because this is a trading card game. You can trade, you can build decks, you can battle, you can do all the normal stuff. But it's a little different as far as like customization goes. Because not only are you customizing your deck by choosing what cards you want to put in it, but you're actually customizing the cards themselves with crayons, markers. I actually have a couple here just to show you. Coloring battle cards, simple line art, white and black. They're uncoded cards. So they'll take about anything. Like I was saying, crayons, markers, paint. I actually have a couple artists that I'm talking with right now. I'm going to commission them to actually color some of the cards just to see like what a professional would do with this. Because what now?
No, you keep going. My brain is exploding with questions because I've never seen a game like this. But keep going, and then let me know when you're ready for me to ask you some questions.
Yeah, no problem. But that's the whole thing with coloring battle cards is, like a lot of creators, they sit down and they go, okay, what can I do different? How can I make this unique? And I just wanted to really emphasize this is just, like I said, an experience. Because not only is it a simple trading card game to play, it's simple. You can enjoy it by just playing whatever cards are in your hand, but it's complex enough that what you play, how you play it, the order that you play your cards in can mean the difference between winning and losing. So, you know, it fully stands on its own as just a card game that you can get into and enjoy, which was the biggest focus of its development. Because this isn't just a card game with crayons thrown into it. This has been built from the ground up to do this. There's a couple people in chat I know, you know, that have some cards and they've held them. You know, they're a little bit different, you know, because this was purpose built for this. Yeah,
so it
and
looks like there's somebody in here. KFC has a video on it. Am I understanding this correct?
Yes, yeah, he's done it.
Okay.
I believe Zach Mystery is in here also. I think he's done some also showing the cards and kind of opening it up, you know, and playing with it, kind of showing it off. Because yeah, it is a different experience, you know, especially, you know, if you're just used to like the common trading card games, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, this, that, the other. This is going to be a little different.
Well, so some of the things I'm thinking of, I'm going to rattle like a couple things, pick the ones you want to answer because I just have so much building up in my head and I don't want to lose it. First thing I'm thinking is, do you envision that people, okay, so let's step back for a second. You color on a card. You've changed the card. Like we all understand, like in a traditional game, you don't want to be marking up your card.
Correct.
So do you envision collectors or players having like a set of pristine cards that was never touched and never inked? Or is it not really, you don't envision that that's going to be a thing because then it's just white cards with tracings on it? You know, or is that really going to be a thing? The next thing I was thinking is you had some where's it at? I want to pull this back up. You had some like sparkly on here. Like, are you telling me that you can get like foiled cards and draw on them?
No, not quite yet. I am working on some stuff, and that's super hush hush. But right now, what I have out is it, and I actually have a pack of them here. See if I can get it to focus on them. They're hollow overlays. It's essentially like a clear sticker that has a holographic effect applied to it. So once you are done coloring your cards, you can then apply one of these over top of it. Not only does that protect the artwork, it also gives it a really nice gloss finish, and also the hollow effect on top
does it
of
come
the
off?
artwork. No, probably not. I haven't really tried it.
That's a permanent. Okay.
You know, yeah, but that's a part of the experience. Because like a traditional trading card game, you would have card sleeves you put in to protect your cards.
Sure.
You can totally do that with coloring battle cards. You can sleeve them, you know, and have a good time with it. But with the covers, with them actually applying onto the cards themselves, I feel that kind of like reinforces this is an experience. This is something new and a little different.
I while you were sharing, I think I found some of the hollow sticker there. So then to the other question about like, are people, do you anticipate people like keeping the uncolored cards to keep pristine? I've got like my pristine master set kind of a thing, or is that you don't envision that, or you do?
Honestly, both. Because like once the game gets to that point of popularity where people actually have other people other than myself have binders full of these cards, I would imagine there would be collectors that want the pristine untouched cards, because, you know, let's face it, in this game, once things sell out and all the cards have been colored, those cards that have not been colored are going to be exceptionally harder to get as time goes on. So I'm sure there will be those collectors that are going to specifically target it, because these cards are literally getting more rare and more rare by, you know, as more and more are sold and the game gets more popular. Also, I would imagine, and this is something I'm kind of working on myself, is people would have collections of cards that are colored by certain artists. So like you would have like your favorite artist, and you would have a binder of like, these are cards that you commissioned that person to color for you professionally.
Wow. So
you know, it's
what's
just
wild is like you could have two of these dinosaur roars, but mine is colored by AC Faust and yours is colored by Zach Mystery, and it's two different artist cards now.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, it's the same original card, but those two cards, they are now completely unique. They're individual. They are not the same thing.
Wow.
They could have, in other people's eyes, they could have different values or importance depending on the artist or who has their name on it, kind of thing.
You got my mind spinning. Like you could do a set that's just just pencils, right? Like the gray gradient, regular like number 2 lead pencils. You could have another set that's oil. You could have another set that's paint. You could have another set that's crayon, another set that's marker. It's so let me, because again my mind is just going, I can't stop it. I want to zoom back out for a second and understand your intentions for the game, because I want to understand if you intend for this to be a heavily investable game with humongous IP, just like I was asking the other creators, or is this like, it's meant for fun, it's meant for collectability, but don't intend for these cards to be, thousands of dollars of cards kind of a thing? Where do you stand on that?
Honestly, the entire, as far as like development and creating the game and the future of it, I've always tried to have a very realistic standpoint of it. Because I never went to Kickstarter. This game has been 100% funded out of money out of my own pocket. The initial print run of 1,000 starter decks, that was all out of my own pocket. All development cost has been out of my pocket. So I have a very realistic kind of viewpoint for it. I want it to grow wherever it wants to and wherever it can naturally. I
So
don't want to.
Is your business, you don't have any debt then for your business then? Usually when people tell me this, they're doing it on their own. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but are you like completely in the black on your books then?
No, I'm not making a profit yet.
No. Oh, okay.
I'm still trying to recoup costs, because it's been very much a.
But you're not taking on Kickstarter. You're not taking on investors. You're not so you're just paying for it out of pocket. So I mean, are you pretty much just neutral then, as far as like you're not making profit, but it's not going negative?
I guess one could say that. But it's essentially, okay. I wanted the game to grow itself. If it becomes successful and if people like this enough and there's enough money coming in, then I have enough money to push it into the next stage, but I don't want to get out there trying, like on Kickstarter, trying to sell a dream and hope people that, buy into this wild idea I have. I'd rather create the product and actually show them, because this is, just mind-blowing kind of, this is weird stuff, I'm doing. But I want it to be very natural, it grew itself,
So we got a couple questions from fans, and guys, I'm going to scroll up to make sure that, because I'm sure I missed some. Tufo wants to know, how do you get cards?
All right. So right now, Coloring Battle Cards is a released game. On my website, coloringbattlecards.com, there are links to eBay, is where I'm selling it currently. And the biggest reason for that is eBay offers a lot of protection for buyers, because no one knows who I am. No one knows my game. They've never heard of it. So I wanted to offer certain protection for buyers, buying this unknown thing from an unknown person. But you can go on eBay, you can search it out. There's starter decks. I still have some expansion packs, booster packs, and some of the holographic card covers, just to kind of round out the mixture. So there's a good supply now. The sets are still kind of small. So there's not a lot of cards yet, but there is a good selection out there, so you can really kind of dig into it, get a feel for what's going on and the direction that this could go.
So Tufluence also got another question. Who's doing the art? And I think because we already talked about how anybody could fill in the color, but who's actually doing the art of the cards? So like, who drew these the wireframes or the inking?
The line work?
I'm not the line work. I don't have like the best art terminology in my head, but yeah, who drew this dinosaur right here?
Yeah. Okay. So with Coloring Battle Cards, this being a small indie game, I don't, a lot of the money more so went into development and manufacturing. Right now, A lot of the images are licensed artwork, a couple public domain images that are in the starter decks, and that's mostly just because I like that older kind of style of the artwork. But as the game progresses, I want to get more, actual artists into it to create more original pieces. Because like right now, the starter deck, some of the artwork is just kind of generic and bland, but that's just because this is where we start. This is a game. This is where we start, and we have just the world ahead of us to go into.
Okay, so I want to double check. Let's see. We brought you in. Okay, so we got some more time. I don't think we talked about how to play it, did we? We got inundated with the art, the cards themselves, and all this, and it is very different. So my mind went there, but like I'm seeing a sword with a number 2. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Okay. So how to play color and battle cards is very simple. You have 3 types of cards. You would have a character card, which is essentially just an artwork card, just a name and a picture. Each deck you have 1 character. This is who you are using to fight your opponent with. Beyond that, you would have sword cards and shield cards. Sword cards are offensive. During your turn, you would play a sword card to attack with. Your opponent can choose to play a shield card to defend. The numbers on them are the strength, and shield cards are basically damage reduction. So I play a sword of 3, you play a shield of 2, you're taking 1 damage. To keep the game simple, it does use, and forgive me for using this word, the game does use life decking. So all damage is discarded from your deck. So you don't need a notepad, a pen, a special set of dice, some special counters, this other special thing that's, just for that one game that you always lose and you always wish you could find, but you can't, and you can't play the game now. The whole process of color and battle cards was spend your time playing the game, not trying to read rules or looking for those special counters or dice. And it's literally as simple as that. That's why I say it's simple enough for people to enjoy by just playing whatever cards are in your hand. So it's your turn. You just play your shield cards one after another. But it's complex enough because of the way, and you can pull this up off the website, colorandbattlecards.com. Pull up if you don't mind, the deck building section. Because in coloring battle cards, deck building is very structured. For example, like this number 2 shield card, there are 2. Your A deck requires 2 cards of this power. They can have any name and any artwork, but they are of this power. It should be the very top. The very top. There should be a few buttons across the top, and it should be like deck building or something.
There they are.
Yes, deck building.
Okay. Oh wait, is the box? Can you color the box too?
No.
Oh, okay. It was all with all the white in there. I was like, oh, could you do that?
Yeah, no, that would be cool, and I did think about it. But the box is actually the only coloring battle card product that actually has a gloss finish on it. And that was just for durability purposes.
How long does an average game last?
5 minutes, 10 minutes if you want to play it out real strategic. Because like I was saying, with the way that the deck is built, mechanically, all decks are of equal strength. So you building your deck is more of your own flair and your own character, but how you play the game and how you win is all determinant on how you play your cards, not who has the strongest cards in their deck or who bought the most powerful cards, but it's how you play your cards, much like a game of poker or like a game of chess would be. Reading your opponent, trying to bluff your opponent, trying to decide, what order do I want to play these cards in? What do you have in your hand? And trying to really figure it out.
So I see why the game is so fast, because there's like, you got the shield, you got a sword, you got one number. Like, these are not complicated cards, so you're kind of going like boom, boom, boom. Am I interpreting that correctly?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, an average game typically lasts 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you want to really think out each move and each turn. But everything with the game, like I was saying, this game was built from the ground up to, work in a certain way. But with the like life decking, for example, you know, that's the worst part about life decking in a game is you have to see the card that you're discarding because you took damage. And you know you're never going to be able to play that card in this game because you just had to discard it because it's damaged. Well, with coloring battle cards, with it being a short game, it encourages you to play again. You know, yes, you lost. Well, how did you lose? What do you have to do to win next time? Try again. You know, it encourages, you know, like a lot of the negative aspects of typical things, you know, I've turned it into a positive for this game, you know, because I feel it encourages that try again, you know, because it depends on how you play your cards. You know, were you too aggressive in your play style? Were you too defensive in your play style? You know, well, try again and see what happens.
We have like only a minute or so, but I was curious. I do this sometimes, where I start sort of like breaking the rules of the games, and I like to ideation a little bit, because the game's 5 minutes. If there are people who want to make this more complicated and longer, and even maybe more than 10, have you seen in play testing any examples of where people start like really like tinkering with the format itself, and then it becomes like this bigger conglomerate of a game, and then you just can't get it done in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I've experimented with a few formats, because like on the website there, on the how to play instructions, there is a standard format of playing which just uses the starter decks, and there's also an advanced form of playing that uses a few different little mechanics. But I have experimented with, like, one thing I tried was a larger deck size, you know, because coloring battle cards only has a 21 card deck. And that's more so to keep the game nice and short and simple. And also, no one wants to sit down in one sitting and color, you know, 50 cards or 60 cards. So, like, I'm trying to make it easy for people here. But I tried it with a larger deck size, and I just found that it got boring. Because the game is simple and there's depth to it. But I just felt that if the same game goes on for too long, it just the rift between like your ability to catch up, like if you start losing and falling behind, there just becomes too much of a rift and you just can never catch back up. And it just, at that point, it becomes no fun. And there was,
I see what you're saying. Well, because if it's fast, like you almost get into a cadence where like we know it's a 5 minute game. Like I go, you go, I go, okay, 5 minutes is up. Okay, reshuffle, do another one. And like it's almost like not about that one game. It's more about the experience of the evening, is what I'm hearing you say.
Correct. Yeah. I've also experimented around with like because archetypes is something that I'm slowly implementing into the game. For example, like let's see, where was it? Like, here's a dinosaur character card, Dinosaur Stomp, which is an attack card for a dinosaur. So this would be a dinosaur card because it's in the name. Once more, coloring battle cards is just about keeping it simple. There's no extra icons on the cards. There's no special symbols or other stuff. It's just name, picture, what kind of card it is, and how strong it is. But I've tried playing around with like all cards of the same name get like a +1 to their attack. But it very quickly ran into that case of like, okay, I'm going to play this 5, but it's actually a 6. And you played a 2, but it's actually a 3. So my 5 that's a 6 minus your, what was yours? You know, and it really started breaking the mold of this is enjoyable. You know, because that's the whole point, is I wanted to create a game that was just, you know, you could sit down, you could play it. You didn't have to spend half an hour. I have games on my shelf. I've had them for years. Every now and then I sit down with the rule book and reread it. I still have no idea how to play them. You know, I can't figure it out for the life of me. You know, but I wanted to create something that you could enjoy. You know, you didn't have to spend hours reading rules or looking online because the rule book wasn't quite clear enough, you know, or you needed special this or special that, you know. Like even in the starter decks, you know, crayons come included because that's really the only thing that's you would really need. And you don't even really need the crayons because the it's just the customization, making it yours.
Yeah.
Coloring really doesn't tie into the gameplay, which is something I did experiment with, but that became a nightmare, because of shades of color. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it, the effect says if the opponent's card is blue, it does this, but it's kind of a weird bluey green shade. Does it count? Does it not? And once more, that breaks the mold of this is enjoyable.
I'm just curious. We are a little over time, so I just want to go for just a quick answer. How long have you been doing this? How long has the game been on the market?
I actually released just before Christmas last year.
Okay.
Essentially trying to get in on the Christmas rush. It was very much one of those, I got the game out there with that naive thought of like, if you build it, they will come. Well, if you build it, they do not always come. A few might wander in because they got lost, but so this year I've essentially been really pushing it, getting it out there, talking to people like I'm here, really showing people what this is, because it just, like I said, it's this awesome experience, that I want people to have and just kind of see what it's about.
So I'm going to wrap us up here, but real quick, I think Vanquishers has an interesting thing. This game could really fit in an educational space. You should see about hitting up daycares and things of that nature. So we were at the website. Where else can people go if they have seen your game right now and they're a little more interested and they want to dive in and they want to explore? What is the best resources that you would send them to?
There's a few people have done videos on YouTube. You can hop on YouTube, and just coloring battle cards, hit search. Robin Studios is one, is a great guy that did a couple YouTube videos when I first released last year. Like I was saying, Zach Mystery, KFC, I think did one also, or is working on some maybe, I hope. But yeah, just hop on YouTube, do a search. And that's about it so far.
And then what are all the socials for your game? Do you have Instagram?
There's Instagram. It's like at coloring battle cards. There's the website. That's about everywhere I am so far.
Okay, cool. No Discord then for now?
No, not yet. I've been thinking about it, but I just don't. I feel I don't have enough time to really fully dedicate to a Discord, and having people always on there, wanting to know stuff and stuff. I am working on it.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I am working on it, but it's definitely one of those things. If I know that I cannot do it right, I just want to wait until I can. Back to the whole. I feel I have a very realistic kind of standpoint trying to approach this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it makes sense. If you're assessing and you're saying, look, I don't have time, doesn't seem like it would make sense to stretch yourself too thin if you don't. So I want to thank you for coming on the expo. I had fun looking at the game and talking about it, and I was surprised. I didn't know what we were going to dig into. So that's part of, I think, what's cool about this kind of thing. But again, thank you for requesting, signing up to be on here and sharing your game and the time with us.
Yeah, no problem. We should do this again. I mean, because we could go on for another hour talking about like the really meat of, the game and how things work, and so yeah, let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, I got to think about how I want to do because I want to do the more expos for more games that haven't been on. I have to think about how I want to do it, reoccurring or not reoccurring, or how to do that to make sure that everybody, for a while at least, has opportunities to get through. So I have to think about that. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
No problem. It was fun.
Take it easy.
All right.
All right. Bye. Okay, guys, we have Hyper Jukin coming up. I'm going to update my time here so I make sure that we don't minimize what they get. And welcome, Hyper Jukin. Please tell me if I'm saying that right or wrong. We cannot hear you. Just double check that you have your mic turned on. And I know that you're in the Discord, so you've been texting me before if you can hear me, but if we cannot hear you, check for one of the settings down by like the mic options and make sure that your audio input is set to a microphone. Oh, he says no matter which setting he tries, it's not working. We still have one more game after you. So if you think you might have an alternative device, whether it be a phone or a laptop, a tablet, if you think that you can get onto another device, I can push you to the end of the list and we can try to come back. Otherwise, yeah, I think without the audio, we're not going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot because it probably doesn't make sense for me to bring your the text over. I see you're typing to me now. After the next one, let's see. I'll try after the next one. Okay, we'll stick you back in the waiting room. Give it a try on a different device, and we'll see if we can make that work. All right, everybody. We have gem blenders left. And then, we'll come back to Hyper Jukin. So let's go with 1035 to be a little safe there. And welcome, Gem Blenders. Steve, how are you doing? We have, I see you and I see the mute. Oh, there you go.
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Ted?
I'm doing great. I feel like this was sort of a cool experience. It was first time, and we are rounding, toward the end of the list now. This is really cool, and thank you for taking the time to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, no, my pleasure. Very, very happy to be here. It's so cool that you're doing this for the community.
I want to, I'm going to ask you some of these same questions, but I want to get your website. Do you have a website?
Yep. Gemblenders.com.
Okay. While I'm pulling that up, let's level set, kind of like what we've done with the others, and let us know your intentions for the game. Do you see yourself as a goal to be a huge IP, small, investable card game with people putting a lot of money, or just really fun and it's not about the cash and it's not about expensive cards? Where do you fit on that?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so first and foremost, it's about the fun. I think that's important for me to keep in mind, for the community to keep in mind, for my team to keep in mind. That's the reason we're making this card game, because we think card games are fun. But that being said, we do have a growth mindset. We want to see the IP grow. We want to see the game get better. We want to see, I'm the creator. I created the world of Gem Blenders, and I want to see where we can take it. And the card game is just the first step of that, I feel like.
Okay. Oh, so you're thinking possibly other IP too?
Yeah, I think in terms of building the world out into various things. It could be video games. It could be.
Oh, I see. Okay, something totally different than just cards.
Card games are the core to it right now.
So, is the card game? That's the core focus right now, though. That's where you're putting your time, your effort.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Since we brought up the world, I'm kind of interested in the world of the card game. Where does it take place? I'm looking at a lot of interesting characters. Let me just I got your site. This is your site, correct?
Yep, that's Gem Blenders.
Yeah, a lot of interesting characters. So where does this thing take place, and what is that story behind your game?
Yeah, of course. So if you want to click up on the lore tab at the top, you can go to the map of Gemlandia. That's where it takes place.
Okay.
And we actually
can you say that name one more time?
Gemland.
Okay. Oh, you've got a map.
Yeah. So that's Gemlandia. There's 10 states in Gemlandia, and you see it kind of goes through them all.
Okay.
You have the 9 states of mainland Gemlandia, which is each one kind of represents a different gem, and they're the people of that gem. And then there's one state that is anti-blending. But the core of the game is all about blending. So if you scroll down a little bit more, we go through the 9 basic gem types. And these are like the different elemental pieces of Gemlandia. Each one is a different element. You have the primary gems at the top: Aqua Gem, Terra Gem, Pyro Gem. It's water, earth, and fire.
Oh, I see. And you can hover over it to see.
Yeah, learn a little bit.
What I see it says introducing blending below. I'm curious, like, what is blending?
Blending is simply combining different gems to transform into something. So you see there's a little hero. That's the hero on the left side of the arrow, and then you combine those 4 gems. That's an Aqua Gem, a Pyro Gem, a Lucio Gem, and an Aero Gem, and you get Glisten.
Oh.
That's the guy on the right.
So, sort of like an alchemy kind of. Am I thinking like alchemy, like putting different stuff in? You get okay.
That's a great comparison.
So the goal. I guess I should ask this as a 2-part. Obviously, one of the goals is you want to develop the bigger or stronger character by doing the blending, but that's not the win condition, is it? Is there a different win condition?
Yeah, I think it's helpful to view blends kind of as like creature cards or monsters. They're the guys that are gonna get on your field and get the attack up.
Okay.
Gem Blenders is a little different in that your heroes are on the field for the duration of the game. You have a team of 4 heroes. And over the course of the game, you're going to be mixing and matching these gems and then transforming them into blends, which is going to power them up. And then you're going to try to get your opponent's hit points down to 0.
Can I stop you for a second? You said transforming them into blends. Are you saying that this guy here, the flying guy, is a blend?
Yes, the blend.
I mean, am I using the right terminology?
Yep. Yeah, you blend. You blend into blends.
That's the reason I asked is because I would think that the process of taking these gems here is the blending, but then you're using blend like a noun, like this is a blend, but we had a verb blending to get there. So that's what I just wanted to clarify. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. Yeah, you can use the transformations are called blends in the noun form, and the heroes blend in the verb form.
Oh, wait.
Does that make sense?
Well, you said the hero. What's the difference between the hero and the blend? Is this the hero on the left?
Yep, that's the hero.
Okay. Yeah, you know what threw me off is because you when you blend them, it's still the same hero in there, just like with some added benefits or something, right?
Exactly. Like you can see in that particular depiction, he keeps his likeness when he transforms. Like his face is still the same. So it's like it's helpful to think about blends like outfits. When they transform into something, they're still themselves, but they have additional powers. And different heroes can use the same blend, and this same hero can use different blends.
Okay. And then now these make more sense, because if I were to start to read through it, I imagine that you're going to have like sort of a flavor to what each gem is, and then it kind of would make sense, because I think you said pirate gem in there, and I see he or she has kind of like I don't know if that's like a pirate thing going on here or here. So you're taking like flavors and mixing them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
imagine... Oh no, go ahead.
No, you can imagine. So blends combine of the 9 basic gems in Gemlandia. Blends combine 2 to 5 of them. So there's a lot of blends that can be made. So like for example, this is a battery. This is a level 2 blend. It just combines two gems, and then you can go 5 gems up to a nectar resolver.
How can we walk through like maybe what a little bit of gameplay looks like?
Yeah, of course. Happy to.
Where's the best place to do that? Like, is it just we talk through, or do you happen to have like a web page of like the board, and we can kind of look at like the battlefield?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be most helpful to go to maybe go to the main page, and then there's a demo banner. I think that would probably be the most helpful to go to.
Okay, let me navigate there, and then I'll bring this back. So, is this what you mean?
Yeah, it'll come right. It's the next image there. That one. Watch the demo.
Can I just click it, or is that going to take me to YouTube and then we're gonna?
Go back.
I want to be able to pause it.
Here, go to. There's little dots on the bottom of it. If you click the one.
Well, I wonder if that'll actually pause it though. Which guy did you want? This one here?
Yeah, just click YouTube there.
Okay, give me 1 sec because I don't. When I travel to another site, I just want to make sure I don't know what it's going to show in between. Oh, I see. And if I pause it at the beginning, we could have the board that we could look at. Yeah. Okay. So let's do like, I think maybe something like this, and then I'll do like that.
Okay. Thanks for bringing this up for me. It's very helpful.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Let's see. Can I go like this? Yeah, I want to just make it a little bigger. Okay, yeah. This is different because I see like 3 areas. And the player, wait, is the player 1 and player 2 like next to each other?
Just 2 areas. The one on the left, that's just to show the image big.
So wait, oh, you're saying this entire left side is not part of the battlefield?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. No, that's good. I mean, I think we need to clarify that so that way people, they don't confuse that. So what are we looking at here? Is this is like sort of like playmat space, like rectangle, like a playmat, and then here's another one, and you're facing each other. Okay, go ahead, walk us through.
Yeah, it's just this is a 2-player match. Gem Blenders is 2 to 4 players, but 3 and 4-player matches have slightly different rules. 2 players like the strictly competitive format. You have a 50-card deck. You have, if you start to scroll a little bit, you have the core of the game are these cards called heroes. So you have a 50-card deck, and then you have 4 additional heroes.
What do you mean scroll?
Sorry, go like press play, I guess.
Oh! I didn't know if you meant like go back to wherever we were. You mean do like one of these?
Yeah.
How far do you want
right,
like
perfect.
Something like here?
Yeah, perfect. I can just kind of walk you through it as you're playing it. Actually, is probably the best bet.
Okay. I'll pause and I'll let it go to kind of delay it a little bit for you.
Yeah, of course. So right now, the players are putting their hero cards face down in the 4 distinct positions. There's left, center, right, and back position. These are your hero positions. They're going to be on your field for the duration of the game. Nothing like dies in the game. It's all just going to remain on the field.
But those are hero cards. They're just flipped over.
Yep, they're flipped over. So they're going to keep They're going to start the game and draw the cards, and then they're going to flip their hero cards over after that. So you can keep going with the video.
Okay.
So you're going to draw 6 cards to start. And this is a demo version of the game. Let's start with 15 hit points. You can see that in the corner there.
Okay. So that would just be like a life counter or something. It's 15.
Exactly. Pencil, paper, life counter, whatever your ideal way to count life is. And then you're going to flip your cards over. This reveals your hero cards.
I got a KFC sometimes just cracks me up. I like the smell of fresh TCGs in the morning. Sorry for interrupting, but that just got me. Keep going. He's like a big freaking deal or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay,
do you know the reference?
No.
Okay, he says that in every video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
So you have your team of 4 heroes, and it has to be a unique team of heroes. And then. So the objective of the game is to give these heroes gems, and then you're gonna mix and match the different gems, and then transform them into blends. So
how do you give them a gem? Is it a card or is it a physical gem?
It's a card. There's cards in your deck that are the gems, and you place them behind the hero, similar to how you place like energies in Pokemon, for example. So like the little icon is sticking out of the top.
Okay. Does it make sense for me to just click forward a touch to see one?
Yeah, you can skip up a little bit. Like for example,
I see. There's one here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one down there. Okay. And you can. So that's what you mean by like stacking them. You could just keep putting them under.
Exactly. Yeah, you can play 1 gem per turn.
Okay.
So over the course of the game, you're going to be able to unlock a bunch of different blends. You have to have the blend card in your hand as well. So you can skip forward a little bit until we get a blend on the field. Yep.
Another question. You have to have the blend card in your hand. What does that mean?
So let's skip forward a little bit till a blend card pops up.
Okay.
A little more there. Perfect.
Okay, let me make sure I pause it there. Like
Wait,
this is a blend card?
That's an example of a blend.
Wait, the blend card has the 2 gems already printed on it?
It's helpful to think about blends as a recipe. Each blend requires a specific combination of gems. And then once you have the hero, you can transform the hero.
I just had something on lock in my head. This is a recipe. When you said that, I'm like, you can't play the recipe until you have the ingredients on the board, and the ingredients are down here, which is the gems that are under the cards. Do I have it right or no?
Yeah, you got it right. That's it.
Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit, and then eventually, you pound it through, and I'll eventually catch on.
No, of course. So in this example here, electrons just being discarded, so it's not the best example. So let's skip forward a little bit more until there's a blend on the field.
Let's see what we got. Oh, I see. You want one actually on the field.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. There's
sorry. Forward or back?
Back a little bit. Okay, you just go there. It's perfect. Okay, so right now Mage is just played on the field. If you look at the top player,
there we go. Okay.
Combination of gems, and then you're able to play Mage. When you play a blend, the attack, defense, and effect supersede that on the hero below.
Wait, hold on. I got to slow that down. The attack. Say that again.
The attack, defense, and effect replace that on the hero below.
What's the effect?
In the black box. So every hero has an effect, and every villain has an effect.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, I got attack, I got defense. Like, what's the? Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the first blend played in this game, and you can maybe just skip towards the end now to kind of get towards like a later field look. That's probably good.
I like this one with the arrow. I don't know if that's gonna help you, but I like the arrow there.
Okay, so this is like a really this is actually something I did miss saying, that when you attack your opponent, you're attacking in lanes. So your left position attacks your opponent's right position, your center to your opponent's center, and your right to your opponent's left.
So like this right here is a lane. This is a lane. Oh, now I'm connecting more. You said the 4 positions and they don't move. This is why, because they create lanes on the battlefield.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm following.
Your back position here cannot attack or be attacked as well. So that's more of a support position.
Why is it support?
Because it can't attack or be attacked.
Oh, it's almost like it's protected. But can anything happen to the one in front of it where that could? Oh no, you said it can't go away ever.
No. So there are cards that switch your opponent's cards around. So if you look at the bottom player, player 1, their strong card is actually in back position. So the player 2 used a card to switch it there. It's not able to attack.
Okay, so you're building up, thinking I've got defense going on here, but if something switches things around, then maybe you don't. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like the basic gist of gameplay. You have
what's the win condition though?
The win condition is to get your opponent's hit points down to 0.
That makes sense. That was a stupid question.
Yeah, no. But no, so the way the attacking works is it happens in lanes, and then it carries over. So say you're attacking 2 to 1 defense, one carries over to the opponent's hit points. And that can be for all 3 of the heroes.
So we've got a question. Jim was asking what TCG. This is Gem Blenders. I don't know if he's messing with us or he just tuned in. I don't know.
Hi, Jimbo.
Are you laughing? Are you laughing because he's messing with us? Let's see. Ted's Basement. Ask about the rares. Oh, okay. I'm going through questions in the chat now. Are there rares? Are there chase cards?
Yeah. So I can go into a little bit of the history of Gem Blender because we've been working on it for a little bit of time actually. It's been about 4 years since the inception of the game.
Okay.
So we did a Kickstarter in 2019 and actually did a print run in 2020. So this is like the starter set. Yeah, we have the starter set.
Oh, it's like a square.
Yeah, they're like little bricks.
Did you send me that? Do I have that?
I'm not sure.
No, that looks so familiar. No, I don't think it. I just looked over at my little tower of games I have to get through. No, it's not on there. So you completed the Kickstarter in 19?
Completed in 19. Well, fulfilled it in 2020. It was printed in 2020, but the Kickstarter itself was in 2019. And this was the product of that, which is what we term the Creators Edition set now. Because this isn't technically not a trading card game; it's a living card game because you get all the cards between these two sets. The cards themselves, like these are the hero cards. Yep.
You know what? Can you break me down? And we're gonna have some other questions here I want to pull in because I'm actually relying here now. The viewers are helping me. You guys are all co-hosts, and I've got some good questions. But I need you to break down living card game versus trading card game, and then we can move into Dex and Drought's question here, because he must know something maybe that I don't.
So simplify the not life to zero a little bit.
Yeah, you choose which order. Do you want to knock out the question first, and then we'll do the
living
card game?
Let me address Dex and Drafts Joey's question or comment. So when in the demo, it was down to 0. That was a shortened version. But in an actual game, it's played over 2 to 3 rounds. So 2 to 3 segments of 20 is the actual amount. And why that's so interesting, it's not best of 3. It's a 3-round system where your field stays the same in between rounds. Just the life resets. And it's it really is an interesting pace to the game that develops from that.
Wait. So hold on. You're telling me when this round ends, and it just did because there's 0 here, all these cards, all this stuff does not move. You just reset the life and continue?
Exactly. Yeah. So you go both players back to 15.
Well, so what happened in that first round? Like let's say player 2, they won because they got a point left or health left, and player 1 doesn't. What denotes that they just won that round if everybody gets reset?
They just they just have a win. So you have to get to 2 out of 3. So if you won the round.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you just said it's not 2 out of 3. I see what you mean. Like it is, but it isn't because you don't reset the board.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So it's not it's not like different games. It's one game, but it's best of 3 rounds.
Gotcha. So it's it's evolving as you go. I can see how that's interesting because you start adding more gems as you go, and now you can actually blend. I'm trying to keep with your terminology. More in bigger blenders.
Blends. Yeah, they are the heroes are gem blenders.
I know. I'm trying to. I thought I did so good.
You're good.
Okay, that's cool. Let's see. I'm just looking for some questions from the viewers out there. I always say followers on Instagram, viewers on YouTube. Let's see. Here we go. Reset clock play. No, yeah, so I'm not catching any. I don't know if you're catching any questions, but
okay. So yeah, so Jackson Drafts is commenting that it's the way I described it to him is it's very similar to a sports game. That's how I describe it. It's not so Gem Blenders, the world's very low key. It's very simple. It's not like an end of the world battle. It's like a simple sports competition.
I'm glad you caught that because when he said reset clock play resumes, I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I just kind of move on. I'm glad that you broke that down. I don't know who Ben is asking.
We do have a Patreon. I can get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I got one, but everybody knows that because it's sitting here stamped onto the damn podcast the whole time. So I'm assuming he means you. What's the best way to get an invite to that?
To the Patreon?
Yeah, I mean, he's asking about it. So, I guess it would just be he could go to Patreon. Does he just search Gem Blenders, or is there a different name?
Yeah, you could go to Patreon, search Gem Blenders, or you could go to gemblenders.com. It's on the footer of the website. There's a banner for it.
Okay.
Pretty easy to find on every YouTube video.
Okay, so you have a link to it on your website in the footer. What about Discord? Because I was thinking Discord before. Is there a Discord invite somewhere that people can find? Is that also on the website?
The footer of our website, on the banner of the website, Instagram bio, same places.
Oh man, KFC with the jokes. He used to have a patron. It was overloaded though every time. They just gave him so much money it had to get shut down. Guys, this is what happens towards the end. We also have joke hour. We get humor involved. I want to zoom out a little bit. We talked about a lot about gameplay and the world, which is cool. I think I asked you earlier on your intentions. So let's move into maybe like product. Where do you see products going next? Where do you see are you in LGSs, like your pipeline? Are you just direct to consumer? And what is your ideal, like where are you at today? What's your ideal scenario of that?
Yeah, of course. So as I mentioned with these sets, we're currently a living card game, and we're working to transition into a trading card game. That's our goal now. That's what we just announced that we're going to have a Kickstarter in March 2023. So still a little bit of time until then, but that's what we're gearing up for to print as an actual TCG.
So we can do, because I don't think we didn't talk about the living card game before, right? We went to the question that the Dex had. So while I'm going to go to your website because it looks like KFC wants me to show some cards. I assume I can find some on your site.
Yeah, I have plenty in front of me here.
Okay, yeah. So let's do that while we talk about what a living card game is.
Yeah, so a living card game it plays exactly the same as a trading card game in terms of deck building and like gameplay, where you're like building custom decks, but the cards they have no rarity. You don't have booster packs usually, or at least you don't have randomized booster packs. The cards are like easier to access. It's a more accessible version, but it also eliminates the collectability aspect of the game. So
there's not a collectibility. I mean, I guess there's a little bit, right? Because like if you want a full set, you can just buy it, but there's not you're not chasing it. There's no random, and you're saying that's the biggest thing that makes it living.
Yeah. It's just I think it's a term created by Fantasy Flight Games.
Okay.
It's like a subset of like the expandable card games.
And I've heard it. I've been into Magic for so many years, and then recently, only the last like year or two, into indie TCGs. I never really paid attention to like I never really paid much attention to like CCG versus TCG. I just kind of use them interchangeably.
Yeah, those are pretty similar. But I think they're the same.
Oh wait, you got cards, right?
Yes, but anyway, so we're transitioning to a trading card game, and that's why we have started our Patreon. We actually just started it back in June. So these are more representative of the direction we're going. We have changed the template design of the cards, and these are like first hollow foil test prints, which is what you gain access to on the Patreon. And these are representative of like what we want the cards to be for the trading card game print run.
Wow, I really do have some co-hosts in here because there's good questions that they've been asking. Can the living card game be compatible with a trading card game? I didn't even think of that.
Like these are actually so all of the new card game, all the new print runs are alternate art versions of other cards. So these are identical cards, but they're same card back, same everything except the art and the hollow.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because it looks different enough that my eyes had to find the.
All like the functional parts of it are exactly.
It's the same. Yeah. Got it. Okay. And then you'll introduce like the booster pack model, the booster box model, and that whole kind of a thing.
That's what we want to do the Kickstarter for in March.
I follow you. So I think we are at time. I see Hyper, so I am going to attempt. Hopefully we got the audio. But before we go there, again, I just thank you. This has been a blast. Appreciate that you wanted to come on the show and share your game.
Really appreciate it, Ted. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I mean, I guess I got to give you that last ditch opportunity to plug anything that you haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah,
Make
of
sure we
course.
didn't miss anything.
So I think just all of our focus right now is getting ready for the Kickstarter. We're going to have sample packs coming up. We're planning for November for those to come out. So still a little ways away, but we're working on the Patreon really hard now. These are examples of the July cards, which are still available until the end of July. And we're going to have new cards released every month. And really, we're using the Patreon as a way to test out different hollow foil patterns and get an idea of what we want the Kickstarter to look like. So
Gotcha.
it's very helpful to have us be able to get these cards. And they're also like a part of Gem Blenders history.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, anything that's early on, regardless of, I would imagine if it's like the living card game versus the trading, even if it's living, if it's early, that's history. That's the first. Yeah. Instagram. We already hit the web page.
Pretty much everything: Instagram, YouTube, Discord, you name it, we got it. Patreon.
And it's all the same name. They could just look up Gem Blenders and all those.
Okay. Gem Blenders across the board. Yep.
Awesome.
Just Gem Blenders.
Well, thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, Ted.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too.
Peace. Bye. All right, everybody. We're going to give our last game a shot here. We did have slight issues with the audio, but we're going to give it a shot. And don't worry, Hyper, if it doesn't work, we're going to work you into another expo, and we're going to make sure we get you taken care of. For anybody, I noticed some people jumped in late. Just fast rewind all the way back to the beginning. Don't worry. I know these are live streams, but they show up as regular videos when they're done. You can watch the whole thing and you won't miss out. What I will try to do is put chapters in. I don't know if I'm going to get to that tonight. I'll try to put chapters in, and then each chapter will be a game, and you can just click it and you can jump to the game just to help you out a little bit, because I know it is like, it's going to be a 3-hour live stream. Okay, Hyper, give it a test. Say something. It's not working. I was hoping. So I am looking at the Discord. If you can hear me and you want to type, you can. But I'm afraid that if we can't hear you, we are not going to be able to hear out your game. I do really appreciate your time in trying multiple attempts to get this done. Yeah, he says, well, he or she, we haven't met, I'm not sure, but I can hear you. It just doesn't want to work. So I apologize that this isn't going to fly, but we will get you on in the next one. I do want to thank you for, again, the time and the attempt. Take it easy, Hyper. Okay. Well, everybody, I haven't actually thought about how I wanted to end this thing. We have made it through all of the trading card games that were able to make it in tonight. Maybe what we can do is I try to slow my brain down here a little bit. It might make sense to talk about potential, Expo number 2s. So right now, guys, these are the folks who couldn't make it, these are the folks that couldn't make it tonight: Forsaken Souls and Academy. I don't know if they will, if they want to register in for 2. That's why I don't have them down here yet. They'd have to tell me if they want that or not. But these are the ones that we have listed out for Expo number 2. Pending you guys think that this was a value add and you enjoyed it and you want to see Expo number 2, throw me a hashtag Ted's Basement in the comments as soon as the stream is over, or if you have access to comments now, not necessarily these live stream ones, but the ones that actually show up, just to let me know that you're still watching and that you found value in it, and that, hey, you want an Expo number 2. Also, feel free to tag any games that you want to know about the Expo, any games that you want to let them know, hey, this is here, and maybe they want to decide to jump into Ted's TCG Expo. If you tag them, they'll know about it. If you can't tag them, I know sometimes it doesn't work, I don't know why, in YouTube, then just take a copy of the video link, shoot it over to your game, let them know all they have to do is DM me, and we will get them on one of the Expo lists, and we'll go from there. They can DM me in Discord, Ted's Basement at Outlook.com, Instagram, and I would say those are probably the top 3. Technically, you could do Twitter. I don't check it much. Technically, you could do TikTok, but I don't think about it as being a place to receive messages a whole lot, so I don't check it much. So I would go with those top 3. Anybody else wanting to say anything, do anything, do it now in the chats. I'm going to just kind of scroll through and see what people are saying. Let's see. Ted, get a hold of Megan from Taboo Contract for a future podcast. I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean for a future pod? Oh, do you just mean like as like a collaboration? Like we would just to podcast together? I don't know who this is, I don't think. And if I do, I apologize. But Megan from Taboo Contract, I'm not sure. Is that a game? If they're a game and they want to be in the Expo, they'd have to ask, not ask because I'm going to approve every time, but just request a spot. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Blight Breed must have a server. Must have served their connection. I don't know what that means. Sir, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, Vanquishers. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, Vanquishers is on Expo number 2. They moved over. Let's see. And actually, I got to double check with them on that, make sure that they're locked in. But let's see. Wager of Taozen. Yeah, I mean, there's all these other games. They just have to DM me. Let's see. Great show. Thanks, Simon. Thanks for putting together the showcase. Yeah, appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, the Jimbo. I mean, we probably want to keep like order stuff, like probably not in the live stream. I'm aware, to be honest with you, I've had a hell of a last few days, and all my shipping has been delayed, but it's there, and I'll be getting that stuff out soon. So I'm just doing a last final scan. It's hard, guys, to keep up with all these comments. Yep, he says we're coming. We got confirmation. Vanquishers is coming. They're locked in then for Expo number 2. Sweet. I think this should do it. Let's go back to my other view so that you guys can see. If you want to support the channel, definitely one of the ways you could do it is subscribe and hit that like button. But if you're watching this far along, you probably already did those things. You can become a patron. It's one of the ways to help financially support the channel. Helps to send me to Collecticons and pay for licensing fees and equipment upgrades, stuff like that. You could also join my Discord community. It's absolutely free. Other than that, all the links are at tedsbasement.com for those things. I really want to thank all of you for sticking around. And if you did not get a chance to see the whole thing, like I said, go back to the beginning. I'll add some chapters here in the next day or two, so it'll be a little easier to find. And feel free to share it and let people know, get it out there, because there's a lot of games in this video now, and some people may be looking for that information and they just don't know it's in here. So if you help and just kind of like send the links out to people you think might be interested, that helps as well. That's all I've got for everybody. I really want to thank you again. Take it easy. I want you guys to have a great night. Peace.